Good day, everybody. Good day. Welcome. I know I had everybody waiting for quite a while, but I guess somehow I just never did a look on the schedule, the time. Come see all the people. I say, why you not start yet? Why you not start yet? But we are here right now. We are here right now. And we're going to have the conversation that everybody has been anticipating. You know, I mentioned it on a previous live stream that tonight I will have Damion Crawford here with us. And most definitely he is here. And definitely because we know everybody has been waiting so long for this reason. I say, you know what, I don't even want to start a minute late. You know? So I reach out to Damion and I say, Damion, let's get it on right, quick and hurry because we don't want late, right? And he is ready and pumped up to join this conversation too. So please, may I ask you right now, if you're not share it out yet, share out the stream, and so that some other persons who may have been waiting on this conversation can join in, because they probably not realize that we start. Alright? So share out the stream right now. Also hit that like button because it's also very important for the algorithm. Alright? So once you click that like button, more persons will be able to jump on and join the stream. Alright? Now, most of us here, if not every single person here, familiar with the name Damion Crawford. Right? Somehow you love him, and if him have one heap of we love him, you gotta have one and two we hate him too. But we know that the haters they are too. Right now, I wait for you with Damion Crawford. I gotta say, but before I go any further and introduce Damion Crawford to the conversation, more remind you how we run things over here. So we not deal with disrespect. Alright? So whether you are not a supporter of Damion Crawford or whatever he is about, and you want to share your opinion, you can share your opinion. It's welcomed. You don't have to agree with everything that I say or that Damion says, but make sure that your comment remains respectful. All right? That is all I'm asking for. All right? No disrespect, no name calling, nothing like that, and we're good. All right? So with that said, I'm going to introduce Damion Crawford right now. Damion, what go on, my brother? Them I see you.
Yeah. Respect, man, and respect to the people and we're logging in, you know? Those who love and those who don't necessarily love, you know what I mean?
Well, you know, I want to look on it in a Damion. You see, the haters support, I still support, you know.
No, well, you know, sometimes a man disagree, you know, means him divided, you know, I mean, him hate you really, because him paradigm different, him outlook different, you understand? So if I'm an outlook different, him I go disagree with your opinion, and sometimes we extend it to just say him hate you, but sometimes I just disagree, you know? And that is fine because I disagree a lot with a lot of things, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah, that's cool. That's totally fine. But you see, if you notice in the introduction, I said as long as you keep it respectful, because that is what makes it important, you know.
Yeah, because that's one reason why I'm kind of cut down the public interaction, because some people carry it kind of too far and make you feel like a familiarity or create the vibration, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I like to interact with the regular people, because the richer people have your cell number and feed them problems you're aware of. But the regular people seldom have a cell number, so I like up on social media and interact with them to know what them feel about certain things. I understand? Because sometimes you only solve the problem where you know.
Right.
And the problem where you know who go school with you up at UAR, or who live beside you now in a Narbrook or whatever.
Right.
So I love them on the internet and interact, but sometimes that interaction now, mother getting at the worry. See what I'm saying? And I say, John Star, I mean, I really know how to deal with that and respond to that, because it will crumble down my thing now if me respond in like ways, you know, so I just avoid it. But once not disrespect, man, I love debate, I love reason. Me and even the brother we name Sir P, they have all one debate where him answer back and me answer back from the violation, and I love participating in that, you know.
All right, I appreciate that, my brother. Now, we have a lot of things to talk about this evening, you know. But more on the people them who know you only as Senator Crawford to understand exactly who Damion Crawford is. So tell us who you were before you decided to join into the whole politics thing.
See, well, you know, I got through it all heap of time still, but Damion Crawford, my mother come from Westmoreland, Haddo, Westmoreland, and so I have good lineage and good linkage down in the Westmoreland area. But I grew up at Kingston, started out a grass pit lane that are down in a Cutburn pen. In the 80s, father runway and go because of the violence and thing. Got down to 130 in Agley Park Road. That is a lane right where Peter Phillips' office is now. That lane is a dead end lane behind the office. Most people possibly didn't see. And then got and grew up dirt lane, catch water, standpipe, zinc fence. You understand? But in them days, I will never have internet, so I will never have Facebook and anything that will make you feel poor. You see what I'm saying? Your life is based on who around you and who around you and live your life. So when I bathe in a bathtub, I never know some people have shower. Because I not experience that. I not have too many shower friends. I not have internet for show me man and take bubble bath. So it wasn't a problem to me. When I get shoes, I used to have 3 shoes, you know, because your shoes I've named them time. They have school shoes, church shoes, and going out shoes, you know. We never know some man have 10 shoes and 15 shoes because everybody around me have 3 shoes or 2 shoes. And when I eat mackerel, we never know the steak exists. So internet never impacted my life to the point where made it feel as if I wasn't the greatest or the best. So then I go half a 3 primary, deal with it and pass common entrance them time then I end up at KC. Go KC, pull around a little bit with the sports thing, go track and field and thing. Deal with it, pass up some CXC. Enough people, as I said, when me in a fourth farming, I mean, I done say fourth farming, I can pay idling and pay the things. And then my father drop out the summer of fourth farm, you know. And my father had have cancer and things. So my father got dead now. Father called me one morning and he called me youth man. He said, youth man, you know, say as a man, you know, you have to go get your education because you can't lift up nothing, you know, you're weak. Because father used to load cement, you know, so one time the man they expect me to lift up some heavy things. We can't manage that. So I say, you have to go do the education thing and take care of your sister them. And by the time I come and go downtown and come back, my father drop out the same day. Some just comes and meds and say, yo, man, take up this thing, you know, for film's sake. And by the time that a fourth farm, summer now, I go in a fifth farm, you know. So by the time, what do I call that now? That would be September now, me in a fifth farm. By June, you know, me come third in a KC out of the Duns class.
Yeah.
And then the man comes and you know, I take up the whip and I show them emotion. And
all right, I know me I hear you, but let's get it back. Cause we don't want no issues. Let's make sure that everything's sorted out correctly. All right, Damion, may I see you? But for some reason, your screen freeze. So exit and join back the conversation. All right.
All right, cool.
All right. So people, for everybody who is just reaching here, we have Senator Damion Crawford here with us having this conversation. But you know how technology go already. You know, we're running into a little bit of issues because obviously we're doing the conversation virtually. All right. So he's just going to join back the connection and we get into it. We get back into it. So remember now, as we say, if you have not hit that like button yet, click that like button right now because it helps the algorithm to promote the stream even more. And YouTube will say, all right, then everybody seems interested in this conversation right here, and YouTube will promote it some more. So hit that like button and get the numbers up for me there. I appreciate it. All right, so Damion is back with us. So let's get back to what Damion was saying. Yeah, my brother. You know what technology got already.
Yeah, man, I life, man. You see me, and sometimes I definitely even want the message to get out. You see me?
Yeah, so you need to explain, say, you know, you take daddy tellings when they must say, youth, man, your boy, you need to go for education. You know?
When the man talk to me, the man dead by the evening. You see me? Yeah, so, you know, so that will affect you even greater. So, I end up now come so boom and deal with it now. And I tell you, say, as I said, I don't really give up on youth because my maths average in a third farm was 16%. I'm calling my mother and say me get 9 subject out of 9 0 out of 13 subject in a third farm. So, you know, say, by the time fifth farm, I come third out of the whole KC. And end up come so now, boom, and go in a sixth farm. See, that was the biggest sixth farm KC ever have. Come the farmer crew named Success Crew. And the whole of we know, man from Seaview, man from Waterhouse, man from Old Harbor, man from over Washington Boulevard. Scene. So we take up the whip now and we have mashed up the place. I'm in a sixth farm. So this now we start to understand now so the world never level. Because as me say, my exposure in a life was really to people like myself. So I never really understand that there were people better than me and not necessarily like me or worse than me and me might not like. Because my circle was really who was geographic. Internet now has expanded everybody's circle to all reach international. Man and friend all in Australia now. But them time the most you have a pen pal. But you know them you can't experience a next man life through the internet. You have to experience it through geographic being there. So I'm in a sixth farm now and we start interact now with other six farmers, but the economic circumstance of a six farmer is most times higher than the economic circumstance of other students, because most of them would have got prep school from long time and rare. So them start interact with other six farmers. I'm gonna meet a little sister. And meet the sister now, she have money, you know. Seeing at the first time I know so wall could talk, I'm go for the sister house and her father talk to me through the intercom. But me no understand that. So I said, yo, the wall you talk, isn't it? Yeah. I said this thing is deep. So when it comes to now boom and going at the girl house, you know, my king, the girl have a show step. You don't even know what a show step is. It's a step where you don't use it. Just there for the, you know, like it make out a mahogany wood, but you don't use that step there. So I asked him, I can use the bathroom, and him said upstairs. I'm gonna go up on the people them show step, you know. And the people them I get like them. I don't want to say no, you know. Yeah, no, that's so anyway. Keep my birthday party now down on my lane and invite the sister now, you know. So she go Andrews, right? So she'll bring the whole of her friend them and my next sister now go Merle Grove and the next one go Woolman. So my party I gonna be the baddest party. I pay a woman I got there at the party. You know, say you know have no phone them time. No few to listen this now them they don't understand them thing. You never have no phone them time then. You know. When you go up on the road, all you go up a skate land, you walk with a pen and a paper to take a girl number, you know. Cause you don't have no cell phone, you know. Seeing I mean I have no house phone and next door me have a house phone a lady named Miss Clear. So go over Miss Clear now and I call down my sister in the pan for her next house phone now. I say, where there because the party can't start until the cake cut. And them time there's a youth the party have to start early, so by 12 o'clock you know the party have to done. So they didn't call her and she decides she gonna left her little sister now and come because the little sister never ready yet and whatever. But she have to dead enough to cut the cake. So the father said, all right, go with a taxi or I don't know what, but anyway, him will bring the little sister. So when the man reached down on my lane, brother, cause remember you know dirt me lift pan in zinc and in the street light, you know, but when you have standpipe, everybody left on the pipe, so it end up run over and wet up the place and you like you have moras and them things there, see me? King, when the man reached, the man take up everybody pick me and carry home, you know. They have a big phone them time, they have some big cell phone, they have an antenna. And most time a contractor would have them phone there. The man call everybody parents to come for them and the party flop set time after the party ram and full of woman, you know. The man call my sister friend them mother. I saw him man just I go to every girl and I say, what's your house number? And I call them, you know. See? So everybody a tease me now and I say, yo, you know, the party at the baddest party and then the party flop. And then everybody have to go home. So I come so now and I kind of feel a look away and a lady, now the guidance comes like Casey, you know, see name Miss Osang, she give me a book called The Politics of Change. And that kind of exposed me to that. It sent me to politics. So anyway, pass up me say me I go UTech and I'm a bridging car, me go up a UA and I buck up on UA Carnival and I say, what is? Now man, me have to go UA. So I start studying now and pass up me see me A-level them now and decide say me I go a UA. So me want to be a lawyer them time there. So anyway, never have the money for go school now, so them have a scholarship for the tourism. So I end up apply and get the scholarship now and that's how I end up study tourism. At them time, I didn't know about tourism management and everything. They are lawyer, doctor, Indian chief. So I decide now, say, all right, I have money. Them enough money me get, you know. Them pay me school fee, my hall fee, and then them give me $1,000 every 3 months, you know. I talk about 1999, you know. See? So you
Yeah.
know, the $1,000 you rich. Yeah, man. Every 3 months we get $1,000, $4,000 a year, separate from the school fee, spending money. So may not do that. I go Bahamas now, and cause you'd have to go Bahamas to study tourism. So me there Bahamas, and the man them say, yo, are you for run off this thing here, And me I say, why you say that? And the man them I say, yeah, man, are you with people I'm rate, and are you for be the guild president? And I say, all right. I want to be the guild president. I me nominate and win by a landslide. You see me? So the first election that me ever run was in Bahamas. So when I come back now, I banded to Jamaica. So I come back to Jamaica, I work down at FDR, Franklin D Resort. I work at FDR and I go on do my thing, and then now I see New Year's I come. And New Year's I come now, the man them say, all right, them I put out the schedule for who to work New Year's night. Them time they may have my clothes and everything ready for go enjoy myself and celebrate, send for my girl and everything. I see my name down for work New Year's night. I say, bro, what is my left the work I start a party time for me, but well, you never understand enough you going on. When I work at hotel, when I holiday, a year work time. When I work time, a year holiday. So the hotel thing crazy the way there. So it's like Christmas Day. Remember, I said people are take for them vacation, so you busy. New Year's Eve, people are take for them vacation, so you busy. So me never like that, cause me want to be in the mix, you see me? So I decided to go back and go do my masters, you see me? Yeah. I don't want to work at hotel. So I come so boom now and go back at you know for go do my masters now. And again the people them say, yo, why you have to be the hall chairman, you know? Cause I live on Taylor Hall, you see? And I say, all right, cool. Run for hall chairman now and win again. Landslide again. So I start to like this running thing now, you see me? This politics thing, but not politics as in PNP, JP,
yeah,
but man. just entering them something, you see me?
Yeah.
So but then man, I do a good job because I'm a man, my mind creative. So I come up with different ways. I love challenge what exists and to change what exists. And I do a thing, man, till well, come up with an idea, say who can't afford them hall fee, we will paint it we paint in the hall and the school give you the contract and all them something there. And we may deal with it, man, the people them say, yo, you have to be the guild president for the whole university. So I run against now the vice president last year. He want to be the president this year. And next year it was like the PRO. So we don't know, because I just hard chairman. So anyway, I come to now and say I run against them. So the whole Taylor campaign for me, right? And them have a thing where you have to do a debate, a public speech, why you for beat. So I tell you saying the first this now I'm gonna make a speech. You see me? So my dad now and one of my brethren write a speech for me, and my God, I talk about 6,000, 3,000 people there, And I say, yo, Jaja, I'm nervous. So the brother now was a vice president now, Cause me up on my poster say guild president at UWIC, Bahamas, you see me? Yeah. But the only tourism we do there. Only tourism you do at Bahamas. So the man comes and wanna big me up and I say, yo, these people don't know how to run a school.
All right, Damion, hold on, my brother. All right, so the people them love your conversation, right? But them you freeze on the screen again. We don't know if for your internet connection. Them I hear you in the conversation good enough, but you freeze again. So all this time and me them I say, can I take you off of the screen? So we are going to give another opportunity for jump off again.
No, you are going to go downstairs when we have a better internet vibration.
Yeah, because them want to see you.
They want to show off and show them in office, you see me?
But them want to see us. Cause them tired of see my ugly face. Them want to see you right
now. Okay. All right, just tell me if it improve. Because I'm going downstairs.
No, just exit and come back on. Because you freeze. Right, you freeze all that time. See it? Mm-hmm. All right, so people, as we say, we have all a reasoning with Damion Crawford. And so far, it's a good conversation. We have a whole heap more to get into. You understand? Because I have a list of questions here for Damion, but so far him just give me the rundown on how we got started before he even became a senator and all of them things there. You understand? Him just give me the basics of the humble beginnings of how him get into all of what him do. You understand? I say so we have Senator Crawford here with us, right? And
yeah, get me now.
You're there, but your camera off. See it? So all of the questions I have here will be put forward to Damion Crawford, and I'm sure I'm gonna answer everything straightforward. And I'm seeing some of the questions in the comment section that I will definitely get to. All right. So most of the way I put out no questions, just me see them. All right. Just know some me see them. All right. Modest Nation in the building. We have over 700 viewers right now and only 220 likes. Come on, let's get the likes up. All right. Let's get the likes up to at least 500 likes so that the YouTube algorithm can send the thing out there and, invite some more people over. All right, so Damion is back with us now. You have it, you put it on your tripod, my brother, so that it's stable. All right, and then we can get into the conversation again. All right, so here we go right now. Let's get Damion on the thing so we can get right back to the conversation, because it's a good one so far, It's a great one so far. I mean, no one never want to see my face throughout the whole entire conversation. All right, good. They must see you now. Perfect. All right, but you're up a little bit too close to the camera. All right, so them can see you better. All right, good. So let's get back into it, my brother.
Yeah, so me just give you the story now for people kind of understand why me think how me think. You see me?
Mm-hmm.
So me tell you now, I say me go make this speech. So the brother bring me up now, And I say, Damion, these are the guys who are 4 away run for the president. They don't know how to be the president. They don't know how to run a school. They don't want to run a school because this, that, right, Damion. So me I say, this man is a madman. How the man a big me up so? And I'm me run against him. You see me? Then now when the man done that now, the man say, the only problem is you were a class rep and this is a university. So the man I say, Bahamas is not guild president. You see me? Because I just do the tourism. So I say me a class prefect. So I take a guild president off of me poster. You see me? So I just know me say, what? No, I have to dash out the speech. I have to go mash up it now. I'm a dash out the speech. And comes and touch the mic, and say, yo, when I was guild president of the Bahamas, I did this kind of things me do, I demonstrate and them thing then, and I get this and I get that and I get that, and then now me say, if I could do that with 200, what would I do with 15,000? So I saw now the speech I start to say, if I could do that with 200 and the place mash up. So from that, me no write speech. Again, me no write none of my speech, parliament, nothing. See me? Because me just realize, yo, me can give them a freestyle. So I told the guild president now, and I start to say, the world uneven, because I don't learn that already from the man coming on and make him daughter want to stay in the yard, Sometimes I wonder if him know, say I mean, no, Right. I mean, I really link them again. I search them up on Facebook and I can't really find them. I mean, I love wonder more time if him know, say I still me, So anyway, come to now and them kick out the youth them out of school now, and I say them pay them school fee, and I say school fee too high. So I write a letter to the Queen of England, because the Queen of England is in charge of you, Enough people never even know that. And decide to, school fee too high. So
well, me personally never even did know that. Me never know that.
Yeah, man. So I write to the Queen of England, man, and me and my brother now, name call him Chicken. Okay, I remember Myers, Dalton Myers now. We go down at the U library now and go read the archives. We read 11 years out of meeting, where you have, 11 years, we just sit down there and read for about 12 days or 13 days, Read the whole of the meeting, them, the minutes, them. And we come up with a thing and say, the school fee now calculate right because we for pay 20% and the government for pay 80%. So any amount where the government give, our school fee for be quarter of that. When you add it up, you see me?
Right.
So them time, I'm bad for the maths, I get wicked for maths. So we write to the Queen, and the Queen put her brother now with the name Clark. He was the head of Scotiabank, in charge of a review. So when the boss them review now, the boss them say, yo, the school fee calculate wrong, and school fee if you go down by like $11,000, $12,000. Not about this at 2004, so enough money that school fee about $67,000 or $70,000, So them say school fee if you go down by 11,000. So like the school vex now and say, all right then, since the school fee if you go down, who can pay? Go on the yard.
Damion, sit back from the camera. It a chop off your head.
Okay. All right. So Yeah, so them say who can't pay on yard. So I get man now and decide so we have to demonstrate. So I saw now the lockdown UA campus.
Yeah.
Lockdown the whole campus. I talk about cook all a bread sandwich and everything then I say, well now I open back the campus, you know. And March, them time PNP in a power to one. March go down on Ministry of Education and government give me $40 million and we start to revolving student fund. You understand? And as soon as I start to realize, say, yo, if me organize people, I feel like I could have changed the world, you see me? Because remember now, you know, we get school fee to go down, and then now we make them can't deregister we, and we have the school in a frenzy. So we start the bigger things now, like we start march all a Spanish town for peace. Because the whole of you in them, you know. Go in a Spanish town, the time that one other fight with clansman. And so we are march for peace, you know. Now, hey, me I tell you, say, when we don't get a bike man, a pass on the bike backfire, me I tell you, say, you see the uptown pitting them, take for them body, you know. And you see they get up in them and say, oh, no, gunshot, no, gunshot.
Yeah.
All the country pitting them, take for them body. So, we didn't know, and I say, yo, we want some things to change, so I go up on a hunger strike, you know. Yeah, man, Maxine anyway, so was a minister of education, man. And all of tear gas, when police are fling back tear gas from one another. And I start to, I just know, I say, I'm going to politics now, because I start to say, yo, if I organize people, because I tell you, I'm there, you, man, I'm coming like a real Michael, man, like a star. So when it comes to anything, them try to rape a girl, and we go down a Rex Nickelford, and them say, yo, we want a fence, you know, we're going to demonstrate. And when we reach down, them say, yeah, well, give them 2 weeks, you know. And if it not been 2 weeks, I don't know it go, I don't know my thing go. Everybody just go to them room and say, all right, Damion said 2 weeks. So I saw my thing deep and strong, you see me? And we are putting whole heap of things and we are change whole heap of things. So I say, yo, I feel so I can go change the world, you know, with the politics thing. So PMP, you know, go lose the election 2007. And them say, all right, we are rebuild. So go for the youth, we are mash up a you and make him come run off the thing. So when them come for me now, I go in a PMP YO now. People are resisting because they say, oh, the youth have to just come in and be the president. Because man, they want to be president for a longer while. See me?
Hold on. You said them come for you, as in the PMP party come for you?
Yeah, man. Come for me, man, and send some man come for you and say, yo, come in, come start teacher you know.
Yeah.
See? Yeah, man, I start teacher you in 2005. I was guild president 2004 to 2005 when I did my masters.
Because see,
so I start teacher you know.
My number 2 question was going to be what drew you into becoming a part of government, you know. But you get right into the question before me even ask it. So them basically recruit you.
But remember, you know, me a PMP and them time because my father activist, you know. Me talk about jump and chuck and them thing there, you know. Seeing as a local ghetto man, you know. Seeing? But my mother, them know, my mother side of labor right. So I have an uncle in the Senate, you know, as a JLP senator, you know. My mother brother, you know. Ransford brother, my mother brother.
All right.
Yeah, I'm an uncle we used to live with. You understand? So it comes to know, oh man, PMP come now and say, because them know say me support PMP party, you see me? But me never active in a politics and know nothing about politics. Election time, me just go vote, you see me?
Yeah.
So them come now and say, come through, because we lose and we have to build back up the thing, and them come but me have to run feet. So some people don't want me to be, because them say, them in the streets of Thailand, and I feel them time for shine. Yeah, and that, I mean, even me sometimes talk, so you understand? So, anyway, you know, comes up, boom, and get the president now, and landslide again now. So, I start to feel like I can't lose no election, because every election I go in a straight landslide. So, I tell you now, and I start going wicked. Jamaica start, no, me know, when people start to say them like the youth, yeah. So, when Jamaica really comes and say them like, me know, them raise up the tax on some things, and I go march from Jamaica house now. Them time the PMP say them not demonstrate, you know. And I say, PMP no depend on, you know, why you are demonstrate, and we go demonstrate. And me write some proposal, like how to raise the money without tax them something there. And big up to Bruce Golding, him accept some of the proposal, and the news come and say Golding accepts PMPYO proposal. You understand? And as I said, I have to give him a big up, because it take a big man for really accept, even though at the opposite side, and I show where I try to show him up same way. You see me? And people start to say, yo, them like the youth, and I build my thing now. So anyway, me start get nice and everything, and I say I want to see it. So them tell me to go down or a natural, to go run for the seat, because the man I move. So when I go down a natural, PMP they have a thing where remember those legal thing where them did have like the inquiry. So one of the lawyer them for the inquiry them decide to them give him the seat. So me feel like them violate me, because I say, yo, them never call me, nobody never say nothing to me, them just decide say, yo, you not get the seat, you see me? And I say, yo, me in the streets and I fight and I push the thing, and me I go 4 or 5 meetings a day, figure help PMP, and the man them not even call me and say, yo, so we have a different plan. So I say, me resign now, I not be the more YO president, because come like going to take me for fool already. Because I tell you, me always having in my mind, say, I now make people treat me like me undeserving. I always, because my father grew me the way they say, you deserve anything what you want, you deserve it. So anytime people start going like them think me undeserving, me not to take it lightly, because I grew up being told, say, yo, you deserve anything and everything. So I start to them and treat me like me undeserving. So I resign, And then finally, if it just end the portion, Andrew got on leader at the JLP and starts a young people time. So I saw PMP job back for me now. You see the day when Andrew get announced as the new leader of the JLP, I remember them they go in some local back room meeting and nobody never know what happened, and then just come out and say, yo, Andrew, When I come out of my class, come and teach up at UA, I see about 30 missed call, And I say, what is? When I look at PMP people, they call me. I come and say, what David, what? Ray. I mean, I really have animosity like that in me. If it now help me, I just separate myself. You see me? But me no hate you because they never like what you do.
Right.
So anyway, comes to now and them call me and say they want me to run in this election because of young people time. So enough of who you see, enough of the younger youth them get bust in a PMP 2011 was because Andrew was the leader of JLP. Raymond Price, Dayton Campbell, me. Enough of the younger youth them. PMP start say, yo, young people time, we have to push in some of them youth. So I was like the face of the young people time, you see me? So it was I have some people when the public to them, you see me?
That's cool.
Cool. So it come now and we say, all right, them want me to run, but here what them I do now, them I send me to one place where I can't win. That up at East Rural St. Andrew, them give me a poll, so I'm 7 points behind. But them want me to go around the country same way. So I just run me for run. I go run in the election, and then basically me is just a local puppet then, you understand? So me I go around the country and I tell people, say, yeah man, PMP, and me at the face side, but me see it now I got to win, you understand?
Right.
So them keep a launch over Harborview now. So my launch was a party launch, in Harborview because of young people time, And me run against Joan Gone Webley now. So I saw now Jamaica people start to say me is a man with face stick, and me come up with one term, say she's a solid waste of time because she used to work a solid waste agency. So me say Joan Gone is a solid waste of time. And she come for news and vex and things. Which them things they not bother me because me take it and me give it. You understand? But now everybody's happy, and the least thing you say people want ball and say, Lord God, they can't say that. But me no mind them thing there, you see me? So anyway, run and me end up win. Me end up win, man, and nobody never expect me for win. But PMP win almost the whole I see them. But me end up win now, so now me start on in the party now like a real top man now in a party because they never expect me to win. You see me? And I go over there and try my thing, me I try some different style. People them demonstrate and say that they don't want no education and whatever, and end up say the whole thing bugu out and it end up here, so you see me? So basically in a nutshell, that's how we end up here, so.
All right, my brother. All right, so that was a mouthful and everybody basically get how you reach where you reach.
Hello?
You hear me clearly? You hear me? Damion, you hear me?
Yeah, man, I hear you, man.
All right, so the next question I have for you, Damion. All right, so first of all, you're not a Rastafarian,
Yeah, man, I hear
right?
you.
You're not a Rastafarian, correct?
Yeah, man, you know, I hear me.
Look
I
like,
hear you well, man.
look like you have a little bit of delay. All right, so Damion have a little bit of delay upon for him side. Him internet now work with too good in the evening here. All right, Damion internet now work with too good. But for everybody who so far out there, you can see that Damion is a good conversationalist. All right, so we know say this conversation only gonna get better before it get worse. If that makes sense. You understand? And the only way it would get worse is if the internet on Damion side continues to act up. Alright? So we just have to wait for Damion for join back the conversation so we can get back into the rest of questions. Alright? And then start again. Alright? Him lose connection once again. You know, sometimes I wish we could have do them interview here in person, you know. You know, so
you hear me now?
Alright, me I hear you now perfectly. Your internet now work good
Yeah.
at all, Damion.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
Thing I'm on bugu.
Actually, we have such a good reasoning, you know, brother. That I go on. You know?
Yeah.
You see me? All right. So my next question we may have for you is a lot of people when them see a Rasta man, well, let me rephrase. When them see a man with locks in a parliament, right? Them they start to view it as a good thing and I say, yo, a Rasta in a parliament right now. But you're not a Rastafarian, right?
No. All right, so my father now, me are the only boy for my mother, you know. See, and my father have a next big son, but him did move and live a foreign. So when my father is sick now, and me kind of that can go doctor and them thing as the youth, you see me? Because you physically have to help him to walk and thing like that. So me end up start reason with my father now, because I'm kind of know. My father used to work 2 times a day, you know. He used to work at a cement company, and them do double shift, you know, to try, you understand, earn a money, you know. So we never see my father wholly till him get sick. So him start there around me now, like all 94 World Cup and thing like that now. We are watch it together and I tape it on VCR. So him a show me a reasoning now when we there around him say, yo, him did a Rasta in you know. And when we born now, him have a trim. Cause you know in the 70s, 80s, Rasta not even get no work, police are run them down and things. So I say, yo, him have youth. Him have a trim and go try mind the youth them. So him did go look at work down at Alcoa and them tell him say him for trim and come back, so him trim. So when now me become an adult now and about 19 now, I find say I couldn't automatically remember my father's face. If you see a picture, you know, say him, you know, but like I couldn't draw it to my mind. You see me? So I just decide, say, yo, it's like how my father have a trim for really me then and my sister then. I have a locks for him, you see me? So I saw now I grow my locks from me about 19.
So it's
and
basically,
from that I have.
It's basically a representation of your father.
Yeah, because him did have to sacrifice for him locks, you understand?
Right.
For mine, really. Yeah, so I grow my locks. So it's neither fashion locks nor Rastafari, you see me?
Alright, it's symbolic.
So I never really want to violate Rasta now. I not really take advantage of it now for going like me a Rasta, you see me?
Right.
I make it clear to yo, I'm not a Rasta because I not really violate the man thing. But I get the negatives of Rasta because anybody when I like Rasta don't like any aspect lacks, you see me? So I get the negative of it and I get the positive of it same way because some people draw to me because of that and me easily recognizable too, you see me? So differentiate it from the others. So sometimes even when we do polls and everything there, the Rasta will get a certain amount of vote separate from my name. You understand?
So with
Yeah.
so with that,
But,
right? With the fact that you have Lux entering parliament, did that affect you negatively in parliament? Like, for example, your peers.
no, in an election, you have especially older people, then not with Rasta,
Mm-hmm.
So when you run election, some older people say them nah vote for you, them not even shake your hand,
Mm.
You understand? Yeah. And then added to that now, I'm kind of a revolutionist in how I talk and what I do. So sometimes you not get the funding neither, you understand?
Mm.
But that is more because of how I stay more than my lax, I guess, But yeah, you will not get no support. But then now the younger people them it gravitate. So you lose some, you win some. We never really focus enough to say what is the average or the net. But I have had people say them nah vote for me through me have lax. You see me?
Mm-hmm. All right. Now, on the topic of Lux, and we are going to get a little bit more intense in the questioning now. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And go up on the politics side, because, we are going to drift away from who Damion Crawford is a little bit and talk a little bit
See.
about the country and the politics and the government and all of that. Right? Now, the very first question I want to ask you, since we're on the whole Lux thing, let's talk a little bit, because I'm quite sure you would have seen the whole Nzinga King situation the other day. Right?
See.
And as a man who grew Lux, not a Rastafarian, but you obviously believe that people should be respected, right? What is your take on that whole situation that went down?
All right. So you see, when me hear it, I just couldn't believe say that could have really happened. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
So me I say, yo, why would they do that? And I end up say, yo, I go investigate myself. So I actually go down at the station. Go down at the station and go talk to the police them and go around where the girl did I get hold and talk to some of the people them when at the cell and I ask them what one, you see me? So basically the police them I say, yo, them never trim her and whatever, see? So me end up a food story. Me have the police them I say them never trim her and me have she I said she get trimmed.
Mm-hmm.
So I said to myself, say, yo, me can't come say nothing, because me not have the tools to decide who I tell the truth, you see me?
Right.
So I say me I wait upon the Indicom and the public defender report. Nearly 3 months now and no report can come out. So I say that is a disservice to both Nzinga and the police, because if them trim Nzinga, it shouldn't take 3 months for it come to the forefront.
Right.
And if them don't trim Nzinga, it shouldn't take 3 months to come to the forefront. If them never trim her, the police need to be cleared. And if them trim her, she need justice. Either way, it not take 3 months. So I'm kind of hurt now by how long it take. So you start feel like there's a cover up. You get where I come from?
Right.
So my real opinion, Jamaica not like poor people. If you just look on any category or any activity. You see, even when they say you're homosexual and if you want rich homosexual, nobody in a business. You understand? You're thief and thief for dead. If you want rich thief, nobody in a business. So Nzinga real negative was our income more than our loss. You understand what I say?
Facts.
Because what them tell me is that she couldn't put up the bail, When me go down there and investigate why she was in the jail, is because when the court they offer a certain amount of bail, as they tell me, so I only report third party. She never have the money for put up the bail. I think it was $18,000 or whatever. So therefore, her reality where she got experience was more because she never have the income for can buy respect. You understand where I come from?
Totally.
So
totally.
that circumstance they end up coming. So me not think say almost every police in today's Jamaica got have a Rasta cousin, a Rasta brother, possibly a Rasta father. You understand? But people take advantage of poverty. Like how you see when them video the one them cause Andrew and them thing there. You understand? Them take advantage of poverty. Because them couldn't do me that. Me have a liar them pan speed dial. But me have a video on the internet, me tell people say, I got you where police call me boy and now them call me sir. And the only difference is that I was broke and now I'm not that broke.
Right.
You understand?
That's the only difference.
So that's the thing. Yeah,
Money,
yeah.
money
The
give you
only
respect
difference.
and power. Money give you respect and power. So I totally
In
agree
a
with everything
Jamaica.
that you're saying. Yeah.
In a Jamaica.
Yeah. All right. So you touched on it slightly a while ago, because me have my questions in specific order, you know. You touched on it slightly a while ago when you say, like you see the police them go for the one them with disrespect Andrew. Do you feel like the Jamaican people, right, who supposed to have at least freedom of speech, right? Do you feel like that is being respected by the present authorities? Because if somebody exercises that right, you notice them go pick them up and them force them to apologize. What you have to say about that?
Again, it's a poverty thing. If a rich man like a doctor go up on the internet and cuss Andrew, even though he might cuss him in a different way, him now get violated like that. You understand? Cause watch out now. If them have arrest the youth or the youth them or whoever, then if them break the law, we can see why them have get an arrest. But how the video part coming out? Because even when we arrest a murderer, we don't video him.
Exactly.
When we arrest a rapist, we don't video him. So all the video part and the apology part and the put out by internet coming at the war. You understand where I come from?
Right.
So therefore, it's really an effort to embarrass. You get where I come from. So what I think is happening within our society now is that everything is so politics dependent that even a policeman feel like the prime minister, I feel like him get a promotion. So therefore, he must make sure so the prime minister knows that him. Because if you really recognize it, you know, each of them will video, they must make sure them video themselves too, you know. So them kind of try and make it known, say, me deal with it in the boss. You get where I come from? So you go in a man house and I show him bed and I show people are talk about look on him bed. But why these things are happening is that Jamaica is selfish and Jamaicans are selfish. We have a me, my mentality. If I know me, it's not a problem. Right. If I know my, it's not a problem. So like you see me now, a cousin, I say, no mandatory vaccine. I am vaccinated.
Right.
Me take the vaccine already. You understand? If me go get one third eye or if me go get one cataract or me don't know what me go get, but me don't take it already.
Right.
So it not go for me, but it not go for me understand and have empathy and feel that it's not right. So because of that now, one by one, them can take off all of us because until it's me not have no problem. And the only power where people have is in numbers, in coordinated numbers.
Right.
So if we want to continue to fight, like you ever watch karate show where one wanna fight the bad man and not get beat up? That is what's gonna happen to us as a society. One we are gonna fight and we are gonna get beat up. So because we are selfish, we don't empathize with the circumstance of somebody else if it is not us. And by extension, the country starts to deteriorate into where we don't have freedoms of speech or anything else.
Right. What is it that you think should have been done where those persons' rights was violated? For example, the officers, as you mentioned, that made themselves be seen in the video. Do you think that something should have been done, right?
Yeah, man. A message should have been sent. A message should have been sent. If it's not a warning, at least a warning should be given. You understand? But I would have moved further to even a suspension. But as I said, it is a motivation because they feel they just who the government like I get promoted. And that separation is where we have to go back for. You can't have the government intervene so directly in the police force. You see me? That means I am at risk. Right. I know me born Andrew regular every day. So therefore, I can't afford. So when a man say, yo, he might can't come to like going to with the youth in a garden. But him can say me a speed when me not speed. Him cannot give me justice when me report to him.
Get you in another way. Get you in another way, right?
Yeah. So me no want police feel like the government have to love them for them to progress.
When you mention
that is fair.
When you mention that, this question comes to mind, Damion. Is the police for the people or is the police for the government? That is a question we want your answer for me.
Well, the way the police force is being organized now with the strategy of recruiting and stuff like that, the police now seems to be biased towards the government. But it is difficult for the police not to be biased towards the government because the police duty is to enforce law, which is made by the government. I want you to understand me, because sometimes them things we get deep into the thing now.
Mm.
What is the role of the police? Not to decide what is right or wrong. The role of the police is to enforce the law that is existing.
Right.
So if the law says you should not sell on the road, whether I'm thinking if I'll be allowed or not to be allowed, he's not doing his work if him allow you.
Right.
So sometimes when the police give you a blight, quote unquote, him simply not carrying out his duty because his role is to implement the law.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You see me?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you make an arms house law, which is where parliament comes in and government, a government make most of the laws, you know, because even though it come to parliament, it's what you call a simple majority, which means that one more vote than the next man mean you win. So because the government have more MP, them are going to win in a simple majority. Unless it's a constitutional change, them need one of us on the opposition to be on their side. But otherwise, it is just more, their votes will always carry. So if government make bad law, the police have a duty to implement bad law. And so the police now be frowned upon. Because some police not agree with the curfew, some police not agree with party not keep, some police not agree with people not can sell on the road, some police mother sell on the road. But when he's instructed to uphold the law, we cost the police instead of the law. You understand where I come from? So it is almost automatic that the police will be for the government, whether PNP or JLP, because the police duty is to enforce the laws made by government. I don't know if you understand.
Understand perfectly. Totally understand. All right. And you're really getting into the answers of these questions, and I'm looking in the comments, and everybody is agreeing with you, right? Now, I'm gonna get to, because like I said, I have a list of questions for you, Damion. Now,
there anytime, as much time as I need.
The other question I want right now you to get to is, what is it you considered that would be most broken in the system right now? And we are talking about all aspects of the system.
All right. So first, I'm going to beg your opportunity to tell you what is the system. Because no for way, you can't tell what is broken unless you know what you're talking about.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
The system is a set of interrelated variables that should maintain the status quo. That's what the system is. So if your granny poor, the system have some variables that work together to make the granddaughter poor. And if the grandfather rich, the system have some variables that work together to make the grandson rich. It is a set of interrelated variables that is made to maintain the status quo. May I give you some examples? When you're born poor, meaning low income, because poor is a negative connotation. Everybody I try to change up for them thing. Nigger can't be called a nigger anymore, but poor can be called poor. If you look up the term poor, it means less than satisfactory. You understand? So poor people shouldn't be allowing themselves to be called poor. We're low income. You see me I say?
Right.
Because them think they know words of power, You see me I say? Yeah. But all right. When you really check out if you're low income, you start to eat food for the belly full. You don't eat food for the nutrition.
The nutrients, right.
You get where I come from. So if you come back to how we grew up, and me as a youth grew up, we eat more gravy because the gravy make the meat stretch. That's why we like curry chicken. That's why we like brown stew chicken. That's why we like tin mackerel. More than we like sardine, because sardine have no gravy.
Right.
So when you eat food now for the gravy, if you make the food stretch, that now start to give you habits that give you diabetes, that give you hypertension, high blood pressure, and other ailments. By the time you're 36, 37, you have these ailments. When you have them ailments, you have to divert money from your children to medicine. Or you're blind, or you lose a foot, or you have to miss work. Are you understanding what I say?
Definitely.
In diverting the income from your children, no, them now get book, them now get whatever, them end up come work for who you work for picnic. That is the system. You see what I say? If you go to a prep school, them say over 2,100 people apply to go to Campion every GSAT. and it have 240 spaces. You hear me say, King? 10 times the amount of spaces where Campion have. The people them apply for it. So Campion is going to pick the first 240 will get the highest grade for our Campion. When they're at prep school, 30 pick in the class. When they're at primary school, 60 pick in a class, King. You understand what I say?
Right.
You're already at a disadvantage and you don't get in a Campion. So you end up go to Haile Selassie or you end up go to Tarrant. The probability say you get 5 subjects out of Tarrant was out of where the place down so name down beside KC Holy Trinity was 2.4%. Out of every 100 picnic when do the CXC Holy Trinity, 2.4% I will get 5 subjects. That cannot be an individual problem. That is a systematic problem. Because them now have no book. I'm a teacher in a city school, you know. When me a teacher at the school, I don't call a name. Me have 53 people in the class. And me have 40 minutes to teach them. That means I may have less than 1 minute, you know. So look in a book and go around don't make no sense. Them not have no chair. Them have to go look chair from which other class gone to lab. Them now have no geometry set. Maybe 2 youth have geometry set. Them now bring it because the rest of the class have got teeth it. Them now have no book, so I have to take 5 minutes out of the class to write the mathematics homework on the board because I can't just say chapter 3, question 1 to 7 because them now have no book. I wonder if you understand what I say.
Yeah.
I left this and go teach one traditional school and I taught the people in the class and them have book and them have geometry set and them have calculator and them go extra class and the mother pay me to give them additional lesson. Who are going to pass and who are going to fail. So I meditate now and I say, yo, there's somewhere intervene between a picnic who learn to talk because even who I watch this thing I know, none of we never born to talk, we learn to talk.
Right.
None of we never born to walk, we learn to walk. So how come so much Jamaican people bright at 9 months and then get done at 19?
Real.
You get where I come from?
Real.
So the reality is that there's a set of variables that work together to maintain Tivoli as Tivoli and Jacksil as Jacksil, to maintain Arnett Garden as Arnett Garden and Narbrook as Narbrook. That is the system. The biggest problem within that system, the biggest variable what needs to be changed is that we have become enemies of ourselves. So in the system, somehow we become fighters of ourselves. Now, the best war for fight is if the other side are killing themselves.
Yes. Yes.
That means that many people have to do nothing, you know, but just go and laugh and talking.
They just allow you to do it.
Just allow you to kill yourself. So what happens now is that the people who are the underprivileged, because you have the privileged now, who are the beneficiaries of the system, you know,
right,
and the underprivileged, who are the victims of the system. You see where I come from?
Right.
The people who are the underprivileged don't recognize that they are the victims of the system. They are doing things and facilitating things and hugging up things that are negative to themselves. So therefore, that mindset of a self-enemy cause for no change to be made to the system, because the man who is the victim is the man who will change the system. The man who is the beneficiary don't want the system change. You understand where I come from?
See me, sir.
So the man who is the victim, like for example, if my son dance, he could have been the dance spit in our world, he might have a KC. Come here, Damion Crawford. I'm going to give KC money regular. You understand where I come from?
Exactly.
But when him go KC, there'll be one youth on the on the fringe, him get 79, where end up don't get in. So if the system are get resisted, you ever seen nobody demonstrate for school yet? But them demonstrate for road. Poor people don't use road, brother. When poor people use road 2 times a day, 3 times a day, what a poor man need is better hospital, better school. You understand? Better loans. We never see him demonstrate for none of that yet. Him demonstrate for a pothole fix. No, me not say him not for one good road, you know. But I'm saying of all the things that government provide, Road is the least impactful thing on the poor. But is that him a demonstrate for an Abontire? I never see. Haile Selassie, Holy Trinity, me never see them black the gate and say, no, the school have improved now, because my people now get no good knowledge and no good lesson.
Yes.
Donald Quarry, me not see them demonstrate and say, Ray, this can't work. You know?
Mm.
You understand where I come from?
Yeah.
So they become enemies of themselves now. So what you know? A youth comes and say, oh, my place a bad people place, you know. They don't know, you know, Ray. Okay. Simple, you have an equation called the Norman equation. Norman equation says that every purchase is based on value. Value is benefits over outlay.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the benefit, what I'm going to get from it, and the outlay, what I'm going to pay for it, and the risk. So anytime the risk high, the price must be low. That is why you have to pay more for your shoes downtown, the same exact shoes, than the shoes uptown, because the risk is higher.
Mm-hmm.
The risk of physical harm, the risk say it is a fraud shoes, the risk say you can't carry it back, it have different types of risk, but it's higher. The same house, in a water house, same 3-bedroom, is for less money than Mona.
Right.
The same house is risk create that, you know. The
Right.
same badness what we are celebrate.
Right.
See? So what happened now? You have a house, a water house. You can't get the same loan fee for start a wholesale. You know? You have a house, a water house, you can't get the same. You can't even get a job because they perceive risk in you as a person, because a person is an asset. You know?
Right.
You hear me I say?
Right.
So when me I watch now, they don't want education, they don't want to start a business, they don't want to learn nothing. They want to buy bleaching cream, but they not sell the bleaching cream. Pure black people are bleach and pure Chinese people are sell bleaching cream. Me I try to figure out what really I want in our country. So me I burn out the bleaching too, you know. But me I burn out the lack of entrepreneurship worse.
The mentality not right. They need to get the mentality.
Because we're enemies of ourselves.
Right.
And so therefore, anything else within the system will not change until the victims start to say, I want better for myself. But we're so comfortable in a circumstance where we have that, I mean, listen, man, I got anything when me make money from, me come tell you no. Anything me make money from. That's why I mean, know how them choose, who them rate and who them ridicule. Because it's the people them, like how you see me come and I teach you know, for free and them think they call education make me make money. So I'm say, okay, and that me I go now. If drugs make me make money, me I go to some drugs too. But I don't know about that. I don't know if I make money from that. So me I say, yo, education make me make money. I go down to the people and say, yo, see some goat here, and we can do a lot of things, and people laugh and call me goat man, then do all kind of thing. King, right now, I have 48 goat for sale. And each of them about 50 grand. See me I say? So if you simply do the maths, I'm going nearly 2.5 million. And I start after me tell them to start. You know? So until them start to look now, because what they want? They want to go, I'm politician, I'm begging my 5 grand. Or they want him if you can give them a book voucher. If you depend on a gift, you are not free. A free man cannot depend on a gift, because if you ever get a gift, me have to like you. Once me like you, you not get the gift. So you're not free to say what you want to say or do what you want to do, because you depend on me to like you. And the biggest problem with that system, therefore, is us being enemies of ourselves. You agree?
Definitely, my brother. Listen, you know what I said? Right now, Damion, the people in the comment section, but they me analyze the comments and me read everything where everybody has say. And if any Damion haters did there,
that is still man, I love man.
All right.
Yeah.
What you know? So you mentioned that you resigned from the PMP, right? How many times you resigned from the PMP?
Yo, about 3 times, brother. Yeah, man, come is a man.
All right. The reason why I'm asking that question there is just recently I noticed that the PMP lost several members. Just recently, I think in this very same year, you being one of them, right?
Yeah.
Now, you Crystal Tomlinson and a few others. What led to that happening?
All right. Well, we can't talk for everybody, see? But, all right, me going to politics because me feel say me could have changed Jamaica. And I want to change Jamaica because even though me kind of all right now, even though I have been accepted into the beneficiaries of the system, I am not far removed from being a victim of the system. You see what I say?
Mm-hmm.
You see, when something happens, it shakes you up more, less steps removed from the thing you are. I want me not take up too much time to explain, but come, my life to be fully understood.
Go into it, man, because we're not rush.
All
We
right,
want the
watch
people to
me now.
understand you.
Suppose you come to now and you hear say a youth get shoot downtown, a KC youth get shoot downtown, God forbid. You feel it more if you are a KC youth.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Right.
Because you are less steps removed. If you are one JC youth, you feel it too, you know. But you know, it like I said, John could have me, you know. But as a JC youth, it's not as strong because you're not a KC youth and you're not going downtown because your school is uptown. And if you're an Andrews girl, you feel less than even a JC youth because you say, as a girl, maybe they would shoot you.
Mm-hmm.
So the more steps removed you are, is the more you feel the other person pain. You understand where I come from? You understand me I say?
Yeah.
As a youth, where just a first generation make it out of the ghetto then. I feel for them pain because I am one step removed. Other people have to feel it less. So when we go into politics now, as me say, coming out of you, me think we could have come change the country and change the world. So me going out to get those tools to change the world. Everything when me doing in politics, I've been doing it before politics now. I just do it bigger now because of politics. So me used to keep Max Camper UA from me about 23, 20 people, 50 people with my own money. When we get government money, 400 people, we just do it bigger.
Right.
But I've been doing it before. So me know, anytime me not feel like say, me I get the country where me want me resign because enough me put out, enough effort, enough money, enough time. Sometimes when me could have laid down in my bed and my girl I squeeze up two blackhead and thing, me go on road, I walk up and down and me I make sacrifice. Me I make that sacrifice because I have a country in my mind. More and more, me I say, yo, but the party now go the direction there, the country where me having in my mind. So me I say, yo, when me I make the sacrifice of me can't bother ya, man. So me stop, you see me?
Right.
Because the things them what them I say, me not say. And the things that me I say, them not say. So me I say, no. Then what the sense this make then? Because if me run up and down and we win now and yeah, PMP win and then it still not go where me want it to go. No, me have to go burn them out too. Enough time I burn PMP, burn every party now. Because me having in my mind where me want to see. You understand where I come from?
Right.
And where me want it can be done. It's just that them not rate we enough and them not rate people enough and them not want make the sacrifice. So every time when money spent on poor people is a handout, but when money spent on business and rich people is an investment. You get where I come from?
Right.
So anytime I don't feel like it I go my way, and I don't think I have the power to turn it around, I up off of the bus, I go Westmoreland and I see it I go Portland, I up off and try to catch the next bus or walk or something. So now me not sacrificing my life and my time. I could have make billions of dollars if me never in a politics. Me never get accused of thief yet. Not even when me accuse everybody. Nobody never yet come say. You know, say boy Crawford a thief. You understand me? I say so politics not gonna make me rich. But if the amount of time, sometimes they are my farm, like last year. Remember me used to do maths class every Tuesday on internet for free, you know. Me there my farm and by 3 o'clock me jump in my car and I drive come home just to reach for 6 o'clock. So sometimes the effort when me take to make people better, it make me broker. So when Mrs. said the people no want it. The people no want it and the party no want it. They jump off I ship and say, go on, do not thing over there. So you see me?
All right, my brother. One of the things that I've heard you say, and I quote this. One of the things that I've heard you say is that you like government, but you don't like politics.
Yeah.
Expand upon that a little bit for me. What you mean when you say you like government, but you don't like politics?
Yeah, because you know, enough Jamaicans don't realize that two different things. You know. You have the game of politics, one win, one lose, and then you have the business of government. Everybody lose or everybody win. If Andrew make the country better as the government, you think me now get some right?
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Totally.
And if Porsche or Mark only make the country worse as a government, you think me now go worse? But the political parties them now, when the election done, one party win and one party lose. Half of Jamaica celebrate, half of Jamaica ball. You get where I come from?
Mm-hmm.
With government, you can do more, either good or bad, based on the resources and the power of government. So, for example, if me just a regular youth, like how me used to go schools before COVID, me used to go to school on a Monday and teach maths, like different school. That now really change the world. But if me was Minister of Education, me could have do something for change mathematics education than just me look self I try to do the thing. So without government, you're a bicycle. But with government, you can be a bus. What's the difference? A bicycle move one person slowly, and a bus move enough people quickly. And if you turn prime minister, you're a plane. You can move even more people more quickly. So I like the power that government give and the resources that government give. But the effort to get it is so dirty and nasty and underhanded that me not like the effort to get it. You see where I come from?
Right.
Yeah. So the political process where people try to slander your name and to mash down your career and to basically belittle you and conniving, tape your on a telephone and leak it and all and look something there, you see me?
Mm-hmm.
That I know my style, and read 48 Laws of Power and read and Sun Tzu. All of them books that I tell you how to use people. By the time if you start read them by chapter 3, me I say, them book will be a friend until you don't need him and all them something. Them, you know, like that.
Mm-hmm.
You have permanent friend and permanent enemy. You understand? So if you're even looking at PMP system, I'm going to deal with some people, I'm going to deal with some people. That's some me move. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, I like the political process. But, I mean, a life, I mean, I like payday, but I like Monday. That's where I go.
All right. No, my next question to you, Damion, is you've been in the PMP, certain things you've seen at the PMP you're not like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you or have you considered forming your own party?
No, because two reasons. One, a third party has never been successful. So you have to look on that. Even Bruce Golding did try.
Mm-hmm.
But two, I have not made friends in the funders of the country. The richer people in the country don't seem to rate me too much. You see what I say?
Mm-hmm. Most
of my ratings really come from the streets. And politics more and more need money. And money politics I deal with right now. Even the man, all right, I go up on the stage one day, I'm going to say, yo, life is unfair because if you look on a security guard with a dog, the dog eat 2 times and the guard eat once.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if the dog was a doctor and the man was a security, we could understand. But you have a security guard and you have a security dog. The two of them are do security work. And the dog end up get better treatment than the man. Something wrong with that. You understand what I say?
Right.
When the dog sick, him go a vet. But when the man sick, him cannot afford doctor. When the dog get up a morning time, get him food and him get him full nutrition based on what him supposed to get. And when the man get him PM, him can't barely pay him bus fare to come back at work. Something wrong with that. Now, after you say that, if it is true, the security guard will say, yo, say, I true the brother I attack. I wonder how him can change it. But the same people them where make the dog get better treatment than the man will pay that man to vote against you.
Mm.
You understand where I come
Real,
from?
real.
So the money where politics take, me can't forget when me down a Portland and me not even have shirt, me not even have cap, me broke paperize every day. Me I try scrape. And me see the other people them with 4 van and 6 car and 10 house and 20 shirt, and me I say, yo, Jaja. So I have not been able to, for some reason, me never grew up around them, me never born in a for them circle, but I've not been able to ingratiate myself towards the wealthy. And so if me start at a third party, it won't get much funding.
All right. So while we're on the subject of a third party, we've seen where other parties tried and presently trying. Right? You mentioned Bruce Golding tried it and failed. But my question to you also is, could the possibility of him failing or his party failing be the fact that his party consisted of other members of parliament from both sides? That could have been a contributing factor as well.
Yeah, that could have been it too. Yeah, me never even look on it that way there.
Because
Because maybe a man say the same deck.
When you
me?
look on it, yes, a man might look on it. Like me, I looked at it that way because I was like, all right,
Yeah.
so that man I come out and say my farm him thing. But when you look at the same set of people,
Same
him
deck.
just pull,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So that could have been a contributing factor to that not going
Yeah,
anywhere.
yeah. Me never look on it that way.
Right?
But yeah, that could be a contributing factor.
Now,
Yeah.
with you being Damion Crawford, you have a lot of people out there that loves you, that supports you, that respects you, right? And I'm not just speaking from my point of view. I'm talking about from what I've read in the comment sections of videos, from what I've seen on social media, from what conversations that I've had with people, and even right now as I'm looking in the comment section, I'm seeing several persons saying, Damion Crawford for Prime Minister, whatever, right? I've seen that scroll up in the comment section. No, even on one of your videos, as you know, I'm always resharing your videos when we see you go live over there, right?
Thank you very much, my brother. I'm grateful.
Yeah, man. Me. So when I repost certain conversations that you're having, a lot of people, take to the things you're saying and say, well, why Damion not run? You understand? So obviously, people out here who would want to see you, step up to the plate and say, all right, what I'm gonna do it. But before you move forward, listen, we have another party right now that is in the news, right? I interviewed them recently, the UIC, right? Before me even get into the main question, let me ask you this first. Because a lot of persons right now is after the notion that you are affiliated with the UIC. Make sure clear that up first before we move forward. Are you in any way, shape, or form affiliated with the UIC?
No, but me support what I'm doing in some ways, but me not affiliated.
All right, good. So we clear that up. Everybody who asks me that question, because even before you come on, all the people are
no, as a rumor, all right. Let me tell you. You see, the same politics thing, they recognize that one stab to the heart can kill you, but a million cuts can also kill you. So in trying to depreciate my thing, them just spread rumor every day. Every day them get an opportunity, them put something else. I have been sharing the UIC's bravery to demonstrate. Do I agree with everything with them? I say no. The only person I agree with everything them I say is myself. And even sometimes me find some did mad when we did make certain statement. Right. So therefore, I am not in total agreement with what the UIC is saying. But I believe that we should be demonstrating based on what is happening. What is happening is not fair. What is happening is not right. What is happening with the skewed decision making, right?
Don't jump too far, there. That depends on the question.
So means the UIC is brave enough. It's the only party is brave enough. To say, yo, we have to make our voices heard, and we support that.
All right, so you support that, but you're 100%. Not aligned with them. All right.
And I wish my party was willing to do.
All right, the next question now, as it relates to the UIC, because from your join the conversation, everybody in the comment section I say, would Damion join the UIC? We want Damion upon the UIC. We have 1 and 2 of them in there, so we don't want Damion in the UIC. But you know, we are gonna have mixed opinions in the crowd. Now, would you consider joining the UIC, working with the UIC, strengthening the UIC in whichever way you can contribute to their growth?
Even as a PMP. Even as a PMP, because democracy is important. So me now have to be UIC to lend and assist. All right. I write letters to JLP people and JLP senator to say, yo, me think we try this in a government. And if when them try it work, it can make them win back, if them are the good people, are going to vote for them, But me still write and say, yo, me could try this. Or me think we do this. You understand where I come from? Because as I say, if the country better, me better. So therefore, me as a PMP would prefer the PMP to be in power. But if there is any way that I can help, you think say if JP knows that they want some volunteers to teach on the internet, me not go volunteer? Me go volunteer. Because of that me do. That is what I want to achieve.
Right.
You see me? So if the Ministry of Education say, yo, we need some teacher to teach on TV, if you can teach good volunteer, me I say no, me a PMP, me not volunteer, me not done, me not eat that. So if the UIC say, yo, Damion, we have some ideas we want to run by you. Me did a long time and I run the ideas. But I am of the opinion that the historical performance of the PMP make the PMP be most likely to go back to the country that I want to see. You understand? And when we read what the UIC I say, there are things I may not agree with and there are things I may agree with, because you cannot stop at different, Different can be better or worse.
Right.
Because it have a direction and a distance.
Give us an
example
of some of the things that you agree with and some of the things that you don't agree with.
With the UIC?
Yeah.
Well, the fundamental premise I agree with. We need change. What is going on now is not satisfactory. It's not right. But the zero party system, me think so. That is, me not agree with a zero party system. You understand? Me think say you need political opinions, and when you have two political opinions, that creates debate, and then over that debate, it creates knowledge. This thing, even with the vaccine and thing where you can't debate, it will make we not get knowledge. Knowledge comes from debate. Even when me in academia, you write say it is blue, a man writes say no, it is black, and a man writes say no, it is dark red, and that is how knowledge is created. So I think you need political opinions out there. You understand? So as I say, I spoke to even the president. I find him to be a very brilliant person. You see me? But I just have a part of also the national bias of just being a member of the party. I've sacrificed a lot. I give up my work for run a Portland. I haven't worked. I haven't earned an income outside of my business for the last 4 years for PMP. So when you sacrifice all of that, it's hard for you to separate yourself and just say, I'm just dash with the sacrifice there. You see me? You're more try to fix it. It's like in too deep,
One of the things that the UIC's president spoke about, he spoke about removing the Queen, and a lot of persons I've seen in the comment section saying that cannot happen, right? I've seen persons commenting that and saying, that's fairy tale. I want to ask you right now, do you believe that is something that can happen?
Yeah, man. You see, removing the Queen as Jamaica's head of state, the sentence have to be finished. We can't remove the Queen. The Queen is England.
Right. Removing the Queen as the head of state, right?
As Jamaica head of state. That all we have to do is to become a republic. But it have consequences. So sometimes we feel like say these decisions have no consequences. We get a lot of aid, a lot of grants by being a member of the Commonwealth. So if we remove the Queen, we are going to lose some of that. But I feel we should move away from the Queen now, because you can't just do things because you want bigger money. But it can be done, and our countries have done it.
Yeah, I've seen it in the news recently. I've seen it in the news just recently.
Barbados have done it
right.
Recently.
Right.
But Trinidad was a republic before. And you basically wouldn't have a governor general and then just have your own president. So, and functionally, the Queen don't participate in a Jamaican decision making, functionally. So, therefore, it wouldn't change much from the governance side. But then now, when you're a part of a group, there are benefits from being a part of the group, for which the Commonwealth is a group. And there are such benefits. But if you're willing to give up those benefits, then we can remove the Queen as Jamaica's head of state, yes.
Have you seen the UIC's manifesto?
I saw some of it in the last election, yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Some of them were outlandish. I think the UIC don't have full exposure to how government operates. And so without that full exposure, what is perfect is going to be constrained by what is possible. You understand where I come from? And once you in, like for example, our budget is about 800 and let's say $850 billion, BILL, right? I don't remember the total amount, but it's over 800 billion. Of that 800 billion, only like 270 billion is available for what we call discretionary spending. That is the amount the government decide how to spend, because the rest of it is for salaries, for debt payment, So in real life, the government's decision is over 200 and let's say 60 billion. I don't want to give no perfect number, but it's over 260 billion. So we have 260 billion that we now decide which road to fix, which water to give, which community to improve, which police car to buy, which part program, all of those things. That is what we have. When I read their manifesto, I felt that it never took into consideration that constraint of how much money we have. And so, but again, we never reason with them, because sometimes on the face of it, a manifesto cannot have full explanation because it's a document to be consumed in a short period of time. So if me sit down with them and reason, maybe they would be able to explain to me my misunderstanding of their proposal. But on the face of it, I felt that it wasn't within the constraints of what the budget that we have available.
As far as the PNP's manifesto goes, let's talk about that a little bit, right? Who you wrote the PNP's manifesto?
Yeah, I was in charge. I was in charge of it. Yeah.
Let's tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I demanded that duty because I wanted to know that we had a set of commitments that if we won, we almost were ashamed not to put them in. And so I looked at the different groups within the society and said, what is it that I could do to, as you asked, change the system? You see what I say? So one of the things, for example, that we proposed was a minimum energy grant, which means every household who have a light bill less than $12,000, that them should get $3,000 of free energy. So people were ridiculing it. Hey, what kind of foolish is that? Whatever. But if we ever cut out people at T-Flight, we have to start to look at ways that them can get the necessary energy that they need. Because we're all in agreement that them should get internet. But internet can't work without electricity. You understand where I come from? Right. So if you put out a poll right now and say, do you think the children should get free internet so that they can go online school? Most Jamaicans would say yes.
Would say yes, yeah. But I'm not think about that.
But if you not have light, free internet is of no merit.
Right.
You understand
charge, all of that Wi-Fi box
work by electricity.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I don't want our people to have a thief. I don't want our people's children to see them parents are run from police as a basis of necessity, because I remember, we have 500 and something thousand Jamaicans living on $200 a day. That's the poverty line. So therefore, if a man live on $200 a day, he definitely cannot pay light bill.
Right.
You understand me?
Right.
Because if he live on $200 a day, he's supposed to eat 3 meals. So we are looking on $65 a meal. You get where I come from. Right. So light bill not in it. So I was thinking that we have to have a minimum energy and a minimum water contribution, because I feel that there should be a minimum living standard for every single human being. Whether you're disabled, whether you're old and your children not take care of you, whether you're young and your mother worthless, there should be a minimum living standard for every human being. And that minimum standard for today's world include electricity, energy, and include water.
Mm-hmm.
And so we proposed that. It was ridiculed, and now we see everybody about JPS. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you understand? Because one of the thing about a leader, the leader must can see just a little bit further than who
Right.
him a lead.
Right.
Must
Right.
can say, okay, this might happen around the road, and therefore, even though them not see it yet, I'm going to put these systems in place. You understand? To
Mm-hmm.
make sure, say, when we reach down the road. When we said to people that, we want 1 degree per household, that's how Jamaica could change. Because you see, if you have a degree in the household, that person can become the catalyst. That person become the advisor. That person help change the shop to a wholesale. That person help change the wholesale to a supermarket. Help change the hustle to a business. So we say we want at least 1 degree in every house. That's how my family start. My uncle turned a lawyer, and then in mind the whole away. I have 58 cousins. My mother have 11 brother and sister. I have 58 cousins on my mother's side. And I'm my uncle who got on lawyer, bust the whole away, including me.
Mm-hmm.
You see me? So I experience me, I live off and I said, I want 1 degree per household. So I said the first picnic we get into university from every household should go for free. Because me, they are UE, I teach a UE from 2005. And me see people I get deregistered for school fee. I see UE school fee now, the $300,000. $300,000. That is more than me
All right. So Damion seem to be reconnecting again. Let's just hope him connection come back in. The connection did give you a nice run so far for a good little while, but now him freeze up again. So let's just hope same connection come back, or maybe him get a call. You know that go already. All right, so we're having a great conversation. Damion is giving us his insights, right? And right now he's on the topic of the manifesto, right? So let's just hope that him connection come back in real quick, so we can continue the conversation, because we've been going now for an hour and a half, and we're not gone halfway through the list of questions yet, and these are questions that all I want to need answers to, right? So far I've asked him several questions and he's answered them, openly. All right, let's just see. All right, here he is rejoining the conversation again. Damion, your internet did that work good. For a good little while until it decided for your cup now. You hear me? We now have no audio from you, my brother. Your audio.
Hello?
All right, good. May I hear you now? You hear me?
Hello?
May I hear you, but me I hear you, but it look like you now hear
Check,
me.
check.
All right, me I hearing people, but clearly him not hear me. So let me exit him and make him just rejoin again. Damion internet now.
Barely I hear you.
All right, rejoin again, my brother. Because you not hear me so clear. Rejoin again.
Hello?
All right. So we want to get back into the conversation. Somebody said, Damion must say I use slow follow. Yeah. All right. So, Jamaican Finest Trucks, big up yourself, family. Me see you in the chat. All right. And to everybody who there, thank you for tuning in. It's appreciated. And if you're not share out the live yet, share it out right now. And if you're not click the like button, please click the like button right away. All of that would be appreciated. This is a very enlightening conversation. One that we are enjoying. Damion, you hear me?
Hear the king, I'm there again.
All right, good. Me that say your internet connection did work could be so good for so long and then it just start up again.
Yeah, man, I hear you, yeah.
All right. Now, so you did tell me about the manifesto. But Damion, the thing is, why is it, and I'm going to ask you this straight out. I'm going to ask you this straight out right now. Why is it you feel like the PMP lost the last election?
Yeah, crack up, so I'm going to refresh again.
All right, do your thing and come back. Do your thing and forward back.
Yeah, crack up.
All right. All right. So we are with Damion connection a couple a bit. You hear me now?
Yeah, me I hear you now. Me I hear you good.
All right, perfect. All right, the question what
So
me did
yeah, so
ask
me
you.
that tell you say we want 1 degree per household.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way we could have see that possible is if we make one child free from every household. So the first we get in a university should be free. And we hope so when the one they come out, them help the rest.
Mm-hmm.
Now if you look on a mother for minimum wage and a child getting for ton doctor, medicine, $2 million a year. If she save up the whole of her minimum wage, she not take bus, she not eat food, she not eat lunch, she just save up the whole of her money. She will not be able to pay the school fee.
Right.
And that not include boarding, that not include books, that not include nothing else.
Right.
So we say the first we get a scholarship. People them say, yeah, give a government money. Government don't have money. Government hold our money. It's our money government hold. Government don't earn money.
True.
It's taxes. So therefore, all we are asking is how should the taxes be used? And if the tax is not being used for people and the benefit of the people, right, then the people should find problems with that. And for most poor people, the taxes are not used for their benefit. You see me? What I want to do is to give a part program, which is like $30 a day. You understand? Every 2 months, you get 1.3 grand or 1.35. So we were looking up on bigger transitions and bigger changes. For say if you can rent a house for 2 years and once you keep paying a rent, that go to a down payment and then you can own the house. You understand? Because enough people are earn money from the informal sector. Because that's one of the things too. People don't like when you talk straight. Like I say, yo, you have some girl who can afford more money than them earn because them will get money from other sources. But them can't go to bank with those sources. So she cannot get a mortgage because she can't go to the bank to say, Damion, give me a 20 grand a month. You understand? But if you make she pay 60 grand rent and she pay 60 grand rent for 2 years, that is proof that she can pay 60 grand mortgage because she pays 60 grand rent.
Real.
You see what I say? Enough man a hustle peanut, enough man a sound selector, informal sectors, enough man a sell some little things around the road, in family a send a little thing. And there's no facilitation for house ownership without a pay slip.
True.
Honestly, so when we say the country can change, these are simple little things. You see what I say?
So Damion,
Simple things.
with a manifesto like that was in place, why is it that you think and I want you give me a straight up realist answer right now. Why is it you think that the PMP lost in the last election?
Well, politics is now excitement. Ideas is not important. It's excitement. If you even look, if you ask 90% of Jamaica will vote, what was the PNP and the JP ideas? Them don't know.
Don't know, right.
But you ask them what was the dub play.
I asked them which shoes them they have on.
And who they have Clarks and who they have Air Force. You see what I say?
Yeah.
It's excitement.
Right.
So because it is excitement, because that is another way that we have become enemies of ourselves. Listen, politics is the biggest tool for the poor. Mm-hmm. Because politics is dependent on numbers and the poor have more numbers than the rich.
Right.
It's the only time that the rich and the poor equal is in a polling station. There's no other room where the rich and the poor is equal than a polling station. If you go to church, the rich man is of more importance with him offering. If you go to a supermarket, him have more importance with his money. If you go to a bank, him have more importance. When you go in a polling station, him have 1x and you have 1x. The only time the poor is equal as an individual is politics. And the only time they're more important as a group is politics. But the poor decide, say, me not in a politics, and me not do this, and me not do that. And then now the rich take it over.
Right.
You see what I say? So if the poor was demanding of politics, policies, and ideas that benefit them, they would have gotten it. But them a demand party, music, dub plate and curry goat, T-shirt and bus drive.
Right. What would you consider to be the percentage of Jamaicans right now that has their own home or even at least paying mortgage? Roughly.
I can find that out because that exists, but I don't think 30%. May I assume, but I don't think 30%.
Which is sad, right?
Very sad. But we don't recognize how sad. You see, the whole pension concept is based on that when you are of pension age, you no longer have the cost of living in a home because your mortgage would have been finished. So when you don't have a mortgage and you have a rent, when you're at pension age, you still have the cost of living in a home because your rent don't finish. So I used to make 50 grand. And then now when I get my pension, it will be 20 grand. But I still have 50 grand of expenses because I don't have a home.
Right.
And that's the problem, even the politicians, them, because, enough of them politicians, them are dunce. Me, I tell you that. And people are going to say, hey, yeah, show off. No, Bull can run fast and other people cannot run fast. Enough of them dunce and them don't think further than them to a point. So when you talk about a mortgage, a man have to think further to say, yo, okay, what is the negative of having to pay the same amount of money or more when you don't have the same amount of income? So you're going to have enough age poverty because we don't have enough home ownership. You understand what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And then no, you can't start a business because you can't get a loan. And what day am I going to take out some $1 million from my house to buy some more animal and deal with something? So when I try to show you, I say, yo, the suffering of people are going under is based on a lack of policies that can make a man who want better be better. Because you have some people who don't want to be better. Them have always suffer. But those who want to be better, I'm going to ask you a simple question. I want everybody who watch this to think about it. They must say Black Lives Matter. What is the difference between the treatments of the blacks in America and the treatment of the poor in Jamaica? Them say the blacks cannot get loans and can't get mortgage. It was red fenced. The poor in Jamaica can't get loan and can't get mortgage. Them say the blacks are get bad schools and the whites are get better schools. The poor in Jamaica get bad schools and the not so poor get better schools. Them say the black communities are underdeveloped, poor communities are underdeveloped. You tell me what complaint black people have in America that poor people don't have and more in Jamaica.
Right.
But we in Jamaica put up Black Lives Matter and we don't for 1 minute.
Right.
Start to say poor life matter. You understand where I come from?
You're right.
Me still as a Black Lives Matter, but simultaneously,
right.
Me as a poor people life must matter too because I have seen they're left to suffer. So even with this COVID thing, when I must say the beach is closed. The beach is closed for who can't afford a hotel. I was at the beach the other day by going to a hotel. But hell are closed. So them thing I will get on my nerves and get on my conscience and I decide to I get mad and then a man say, Damion talk too much when I've never spoken for myself. No man ever hear me talk and say, I want this.
Right.
You get me?
And that is and that is the reason why I'm title that discussion here, the way I'm title it too. When I say Damion Crawford speaks for the Jamaican people, because whenever I listen to you speaking, Damion, because whenever I see you click on your camera and you go live, I just like to come in and just sit down in the comment section. I don't comment much, but I just sit down and listen. Because you see, one thing we need to learn to do as Jamaicans, as people, as a matter of fact, is listen more. You understand? So more time I'm listen to you speak, I'm say, so that brother, you know why I'm talking. You understand? I you not just talk, you teach. You educate. Respect. You understand? I respect that about you. Not Damion, just by listening to you, one of the things that when I learn so far is that you is a brother where you speak your mind.
Yeah.
That's one thing when I know about you so far. So with that said, me I go ask you that question here. What do you think about the present leader of the country right now, of our island Jamaica? What are your thoughts about our present leader, Mr. Andrew Holness, right now? Do you think he's acting in the best interest of Jamaica and the Jamaican people?
All right. Well, first of all, you have to remember saying me bias, so me accept some bias in this conversation. Even though me I tell what I think to be true, me have to accept some me have a bias. You understand? So it'll come like, oh, when American people run fast, them take drugs, but when Jamaica people run fast, I am. You understand? We just bias. You get me? So, all right. It can't be easy for run a whole country. It's not even easy for run a family. You see me? And when we learn about government, there's nothing that is totally good and totally bad. Because even if me come and say me I go raise minimum wage, a lady who have a helper, I go say, oh, she go pay her helper. So she a cost me say, so me can't pay 10 grand because me not get no raise a pay. You understand? So it's not easy. I find that Mr. Holness, in my opinion, have a mindset that the poor is the problem. And so all of his activities seem to suggest that to solve the problem is to either punish the poor or to attack the poor. I'm going to give you just some examples of why I say that. Before these lockdowns, there was a thing called a state of emergency.
Right.
And the state of emergency was arresting 3,000, 4,000 just regular poor people and charging 20. But them say crime pays, From me, I grow me, say crime pays. I don't see the evidence of that payment in a Tivoli, in a Arnett Garden, in a Flankers. I don't see the evidence of that payment. I heard on the news that them seize a drug bus in a St. Thomas that had $4 billion out of coke. 4 billion, BILLION, that a $4,000 million out of coke was seized. Now, if $4,000 million out of coke, I don't know if coke sell on credit. If anybody in a conversation know about coke, maybe them can tell me, but I think coke are cash. So regular poor people don't have $4 billion. Yet the state of emergency only target them. Regular poor youth can't buy a real gun for $300,000. You understand what I say?
Right.
Only target them. Then now, when we say COVID come, all the solutions, all the industries that are important were the wealthy industries. And all the industries were not important and could have locked down were the poor industries. A long time racehorse open back and party couldn't open. So a man will say, hey, party, but racehorse have crowd too. Racehorse not have nothing. You understand what I'm saying? Hotel did have to open. Now, the facts that me I say these were treated differently don't mean say me I fight them out, because it don't necessarily mean say me I say like how party not open, them shouldn't open. Me I say like how them open, party should open. You understand?
Right.
Because the regular events that are round robins and those things are not the daydreams of this country. These are the one-off daydreams, and Sunfest are the one-off events.
Right.
Regular event is 200 people, 250 people round one bar side.
Right.
You understand where I come from?
Right.
But people when are in the streets and experience these things and go these things like, oh, me go a party and them things, they not become me one party. You understand what I say? Me 41 October, brother. When they go on party, it more, me want to sleep for 1-3 days. See me I say? I've enjoyed myself. But me still have to go in the streets and go learn and experience what them are experience and understand what is going on with them. Just like how I go downtown and walk up and down sometimes in the market and understand what's going on in the market. You see where I come from?
Right.
And so, therefore, now, when you don't realize and understand these things, you make decisions like lock down the shop, but open the supermarket. But the supermarket don't sell quarter bread, it don't sell big July.
So them now look out for the poor man.
No, why would you not look out for the poor man? Because you think he's a problem.
Right.
You think that he is the source. And so you hear them attack, say like, every time COVID has spread, you see them put up a little thing of some poor people enjoy themselves around one bush, around one corner. But we haven't heard about a cluster. Where's a ghetto cluster? I haven't heard about a ghetto cluster where a big COVID broke out in the ghetto. I haven't heard about that. We hear about a workplace cluster. We hear about a cluster for, what you call it one day? Call center cluster. Them do research so that public transportation and workplaces are the number one sources. But every time the Prime Minister talking, try to say corner shop are they're not following the rules.
Mm-hmm.
You understand where I come from?
Right.
So when him say him a lock down the country now for like 160 or him a lock down the country, whatever, him lock down Saturday. Saturday is poor people day, that is vendor day, that is hairdresser day, that is barber day.
Right.
Those are the people, the entrepreneurs who earn on a Saturday. But him not lock down Friday though. That is BNS Day and NCB Day, JPS Day. So all of them things that me I look on now, me I say, I think him just, and sometimes when you circle yourself with be rich people, you start feel say the poor is the problem. And I think he feels the poor is the problem. And then I don't think his mind is creative. I now try this him, because I'm the Prime Minister and my youth too, like me, and I respect him for what him achieving a life too and everything. But some people have an ABC mind. You see, if you go AXWJ, I'm confused. It have to be ABC. And I feel same thing the way they him just think linear and him not creative in his thing. Because if me that run off this COVID thing, first thing, me that set trigger points. So the country knows say, all right, this is when time it reach 30% positive rate, you know say country a lot down. It's when you reach back 15, the country open back. So you just know when I do it, you can plan and know what happen with that. You understand me?
Right.
But him just lock it down with, an idea, it just lock down one day. And, so if me didn't know, say, when it reached 30, it lockdown, as a businessman, when it start reach 23, 24, me start to make plans in my business of how to manage a lockdown.
Right.
And as a regular human being, I start to save up my money, buy a couple extra goods because I know say it move to that. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
If me I look for vaccine, me that set days for your birthday. Like me that say, all right, vaccine time. Those who born January 1st to 10th, uno come plan this week, for time this. And then now when them come, uno come, me make a call center call them and try explain to them why vaccine good. But you have to first know, say them they don't want to come because them period pass and them.
All right, so I don't know if for YouTube, because we start the vaccine talk, or if I Damion internet again. I'm going to just hope say Damion internet because we don't want the conversation cut. So Damion internet hack up again. So hopefully, yeah. Looking at the thing on his chat, his internet bar really low. So let's just hope Damion click back on real quick, and so we can continue the conversation. All right, we've been having the internet issue here and there, on and off, with Damion connection. So let's just hope him click back on. All right, see me, nice. He's
I hear you, man.
All right, good. You did cut out, man. So once.
Oh, which part?
Once you cut out, me have to take it off of the screen and cause we
yeah. So as me say, me know him job not easy, but me think him not creative and me think him have a bias when it comes to the poor being the problem.
All right. So that was the question about the present leader right now. So me can ask, what is your take on the present leader? I'm gonna ask about the opposition because the thing about it now and the reason why I'm gonna ask you about the leader of the opposition right now. You see, Damion, me is a brother like this. Me like if me post a video to my platform, me like for going in the comments. Because I'm one who believes that you learn a lot from the comment section. You get to understand how people feel when them comment. So if I post a video, I go in the comment section and I read. If I go on Facebook and see a video, I go in the comment section and I read. Now,
me too, man. I love read the comments because as I say, you get a gauge of the direction of people's opinion. Yeah.
Exactly. So one thing that I have been seeing in a lot of comments, not only on my channel, on other videos elsewhere, is persons keep saying, why the opposition so quiet? That is something I've seen everywhere. Why the opposition so quiet? So my question to you right now is, the present leader of the opposition, Mr. Mark Golden, right?
Mm-hmm.
Persons have it to say that him soft and him just go along with everything that the Prime Minister is doing and is saying. What are your take on that? Now, I know you say you're biased, but more you give you a straight up answer.
No, well, all right. You see, you have two things where can make a person quiet. A person can be quiet because they are not speaking, or a person can be quiet because they're not being listened to. I think the problem with our leader is that he's not being listened to. Kind of say enough things every day, but people have not really pay him no attention. You understand? Yeah, like for example, and again, I don't know disrespect and I don't know show off thing, right? But people will give me some attention, whether them do it for cuss me or them do it for say yeah. But if a man spot me on the platform, I'm spot me on news, him say, maybe you're the one Crawford I say, you understand? Him pay attention. And then now, based on what you say, if him agree or him disagree, if him not pay attention, him don't even know how to agree or disagree. You see where I come from? So sometimes even like parliament becomes a boom and bun fire, like when we say, yo, government badness, or when time we say, yo, them a fight entertainment. And then you see it on your thing, or you see it on Pink Wall, or you see it on Daydreams. You see what I say? So it get more legs and more traction because I'm paid attention. People are listening.
Right.
But like when me now say, yo, I'm a man to say nothing from the other day, and I'm cool. I might not be speaking now. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think he's speaking, but because them not pay him the attention, for some reason, him does not establish himself in a for them consciousness and for them heart.
But Damion, you see, the thing about it is this. You hear what you say a while ago? You get attention.
Yeah, you are at least than some other people. Yeah.
You are not the leader of the opposition, you know. But
Correct.
You get attention. Now my thing is, and even in the very same live we are doing right now, after we start this line of questioning, we see people saying the opposition soft, the opposition soft, the opposition soft. No. The thing about it is, I understand not everybody has a social media presence. I understand that because social media is not for everybody, right? And I do see where the opposition leader, you know, post one or two video here or there, and you know, but it's still not as engaging as if a Damion Crawford would have posted something, or if a Andrew Wellness would have posted something, right?
Yeah.
No.
So that's why I say you have to differentiate between is he speaking or is he being listened to? You see what I say? Because Andrew might have start the same amount of time and get much more listenership than him.
Now, the thing is, back to the question, though, Damion. What I'm saying is, people saying the opposition leader soft and is going along with everything that the Prime Minister put forward or the Prime Minister is doing or saying. Why you? Can you not answer that part?
Maybe I agree, but that's why I say that when I look on UIC, I feel that they are brave enough to do what is necessary. But things said the things are so wrong that we should be demonstrating. I think so. I think that we must be the only country where locked down with people who depend on people interaction. Most poor people who don't have a direct job depend on interacting with people to earn. Like you sell something or you keep something or you depend on interacting with people to earn. And you lock down the country and you don't give nothing. You don't give nothing to some woman who used to sell out a school gate and school no long. You don't give nothing to some people who used to work on cruise ship and cruise ship stop sale. You don't give nothing to some people who used to sell a bar in a party and wear branded clothes or do jerk chicken. And nobody nothing said that wrong. So therefore, I don't think that he's sufficiently angry at what is happening. I believe that he feels that you have to just kind of. Some people feel that if you're too aggressive against what is happening, the beneficiaries of the society may not be for you or not be with you. Maybe you feel that way. Me don't know because me not really asking. Right. You understand me?
Damion, let me tell you something. All right. See, I understand what you said a while ago. But we also need to remember the meaning of opposition. You understand? No.
Yeah, but your soul, like, me not say, you see the things when me not believe strongly about, me just not say nothing about it.
Right, me understand you. No, that's what I say. Me understand you, you know.
Right, so I'm saying that his soul, when a man talk and the people feel it, his soul have to be in it. Even though I'm an opposition, if he not believe it to be wrong, his soul won't be in it.
But see, Damion, this is what I'm saying now. It would appear, I'm not saying that he is, But it would appear as if the opposition leader is going along with everything that the prime minister, because when you go at a sitting in the house, right?
Yeah.
And you're going over whatever plans the prime minister or the leading power has for the country, or what's going to happen next. That is why the opposition is there to say, okay, this can happen or that can happen, or maybe we need to look at this or look at that. Does that actually happen as far as the opposition leader goes?
Not enough. Because the role of the opposition is to protect the people from the abuse of power.
There we go.
So therefore, if the people are being abused by those in power, then the opposition is not being effective.
That's what I was trying to get at. You understand? And that is how the people, because don't think the people now pay attention in a Damion. The people pay attention in them. The people
but me I try just make sure you understand that sometimes inefficient and ineffectiveness is not lack of effort. You see me? So while most people say, oh, the opposition now do not know the opposition now, them afraid that the opposition soft. Me have to accept that the people are being abused. Our duty is to make them not be abused. So therefore, once your duty is not being carried out, you're failing at your duty. But then now I have to go research why them are fail at them duty. Because maybe the people are just tired of PNP because over time they come to say, boy, like people say, we have 18 years and they will have enough time. So different reasons are gonna make people just not want to hear nothing. You understand?
You see, one of the things, sorry for cutting off. You see, one of the things right now, and I'm sure you hear this talk in the streets. Even me myself say it. If you listen to me, you would hear me say it over and over. The two party them. Now me know you're a strong PMP. Me no say Labour right and me no say PMP. I'm in the middle. Me personally. So if me in the middle, me I go say how me feel. And none of the two party them no seem to be doing anything good for the country. Right? Now, I'm not the only one who feels that way. Yeah, that get a call. I don't know if you hear the last thing I say.
Yeah, man, me hear, man. Yeah.
I'm not the only one who feels that way. Right? Several persons feel like none of the two party them whether they do anything good for the country. Because them have years to make some kind of difference, years to make some kind of change, years to show the people that, hey, we are here for you and we want to make sure that you benefit from us being in power. Right? Now, when you see the present party, the present leader of the country do them thing, right? And then when the people them say the opposition now stand up as much as they should be standing up for them, then that's why people are going to say, yo, yeah, me abandon the two because none of them look out for it.
You're correct, man. Remember, say, last week, I have to put up on my Instagram, say the two party them book the same selector, you know, because it look like them, they must do the same thing and I do the same thing. So, you're correct. We can understand why people are fed up with the system because, as you know, it's like in America where you just know, say, yo, you see the one them where say them a Democrat, them for gun, I mean, them against gun and them for abortion and these things. The one them say them a Republican, them against abortion and them for gun. And you know where them stand. You don't really know where PMP and the JLP stand right now. Them does anything them feel like at any time. So, yeah, I understand, say, the opposition now do it job, brother. Now do it job because the people might get abused. Simple like that. It's simple.
All right. You did slightly touch upon it a little bit. I'm going to go back upon it for a short second. We're not going to stay upon it too long because we don't want to make this about the whole COVID thing. But you did slightly touch upon it. If you, Damion Crawford, now we just start upon a hypothetical now. If you, Damion Crawford, was the present prime minister, right, and a pandemic like this hit Jamaica, what would you have done differently than what the present PM is doing right now?
Well, first you have to give me what aspect, because you have enough aspect affected. You have education affected.
We are talking about all aspects of how the pandemic is affecting the country and the people.
All right. As I said, for one, me that make the people more aware of
ease back from the mic, the camera a little bit.
Yeah, so me that set trigger points to make the people be more aware and more able to plan. Me that put in the offside hotel, the offside hospitals, the field hospitals. Like for example, down by stadium there, we don't want a field hospital because we have never been over the need for 1,000 beds or 1,200 beds. But every minute we see people on the ground because we only have 600 or we only have 700. So therefore, Me da have a 1,400 beds available within the field hospitals. Me da have a concentrated or a centralized place designated to nurses and doctors, frontline workers, so that when them sick, them can also feel a certain level of certainty, so them might get care because them overly exposed. You understand? Me da work with the Jamaica Manufacturers Association and distribute hard copy of the school information to the different communities, because said bread chuck, chicken chuck, them go everywhere over the country. So if the chuck them a carry out them hard copy manual, let the pit them would get it, fill it out back, chop it off for the wholesale, them carry it back to the Ministry of Education, and we can keep them being educated and keep them being informed. We have reduced the budget surplus, where we are trying to get from 6% to 4% and release $40 billion. And we use that for a $3,000 per month subsidy for people's households, so them can at least have the energy to stay at home. We give the teacher them $100,000 one-off payment. We just fix up them house and buy the necessary equipment. Like how me see when you put up your thing set up for a online class, a proper online conversation. But the teacher them yard not set up for your online conversation. It more look like mine. You understand? Right. And so therefore that diminish even the content and the ability for interact and to understand. Me da look out for industries that will ask him to make a sacrifice, like entertainment. So therefore, me have a registry put up immediately for entertainment practitioners, not just the artists or not just the selector, but the whole ecosystem to actually become registered, so that them can get certain stimulus activities, stimulus checks, and those things. You understand? May that be more strict on tourism. Then possibly have to be vaccinated to come to Jamaica, or at least them have to get a COVID negative test and not an antigen test, which we know is the easier one to be incorrect, but a PCR test to come to Jamaica. And whatever they can do, the citizens can do. Whatever the citizens can do, they cannot do. Right. I cannot find it to be acceptable that a man can come my country and can do things that I cannot do. So if it's a lockdown day, I have to stay in a hotel. If it's a no lockdown day, I can come out. You understand? Right. So me that also contemplate and look on that. You see, me that put in a system where each module that you put in, as a child do the module and take an immediate test after. And once him don't get a certain grade on the test, him go to school next week, him go to actual school. So if him never show up for the class or never show up for the test, him knows him have to come school next week. So now me that decide, so some people can stay home because they clearly understood the material, and some people have to come to school. You understand? Things like supermarket and JPS, you'd have to book for go there. So therefore, you come and say, me want to go JPS Monday. JPS can facilitate 300 people a book. But right now, the JPS 800 people out there and a line up, or out a tax office 800 people out there and a line up, because you have no way to know which day is going to be full or not full. So yeah, some of them think they may do different. You see what I say? The vaccine thing couldn't be mandatory. I mean, I really believe in that. But it wouldn't be me who would be the face of it. That try to engage like both them and pastors and people like artists, and then people and then now kind of fully explain to them, because nobody wants to die. Them just don't believe that the vaccine are going to save them. So if you really believe that the vaccine are going to save them, engage them and read them and explain to them so that them can believe. And then once them believe, they will change their mind. You understand? But we want to believe that us fool and dunce. It's not fool and dunce. I look at one lady who know my father for her picnic. She said she not take no risk to go dead, because if she dead, nobody know to take care of her picnic. You have to convince her that she not go dead. In fact, if she take the vaccine, she will live. So therefore, me that get some of the more trusted people like clinics, and then people where them interact with, pastors where them interact with, try to educate them satisfactorily, and then send them out into the field for be with the people and talk to the people, and put a call center where once a man show up for his birthday, joke, I call him directly and try to understand what is his concern and how we can improve. Maybe get some of them medical students there for man the call center and call a man and explain to a man, say it's not the mark of the beast. You understand what I say? Right. So yeah, me do some of them more creative thing. Them how to do the foolishness them when me say them try buy food for give people and take picture and put it on the internet. Nobody never see me do that yet. Scour the whole internet. You never see me give a man a bag of food on the internet yet. You understand? Because if you can't choose where you eat, then what can you choose? You're a slave.
Mm-hmm.
You see me? So if better me give money than to go buy food here. Me not to choose some mackerel if you eat or you get me as a kid?
Totally
Yeah.
understand.
So yeah, me that do some a whole heap of things, man. Me that do different, man. That this man and not really meditate on it. See me?
You
But the
touch
first thing
pan.
I'm say,
You
cut
touch.
down the budget surplus because they want to make a profit in a surplus is basically the government that try to make a profit,
Mm-hmm.
operating profit. And they want to make a 6% operating profit. If you cut it down to a 4% operating profit, you will have $40 billion. And that $40 billion now will be used to fund a stimulus program for those who are most affected by not being able to interact. You see what I say?
Right. You touch. You
So me
touch
that did.
pan. You touch pan. They should not have been the face of
Yeah.
promoting this job, yeah, right? And you
Mm-hmm.
have a very valid point right there, because in a recent live that I saw you did, where you mentioned that politicians are the least trusted people. You mentioned that.
8% of the public trust politicians.
Right. So if the people not trust politicians, this is my question now, Damion. Why wouldn't it be your doctor or doctors promoting this thing? Because I believe doctors should be the face of it, to say, hey, you know what? This is what you need. Because when you go to the doctor, and the doctor prescribes something for you, you don't question the doctor. The doctor is the one
That's
who
the
asks
point.
you the
That's the
questions
point.
and say, all right, so what medications are you on? What drugs
Mm-hmm.
are you presently taking? Right? Now, the thing that concerns me is they don't ask you these questions when you go for the job.
Because I want to be the face of it. And I mean, it's a sickness, Politics is a sickness.
You get a call, so your audio kind of gone down a bit.
Everybody are you for run the whole country, So you have to have that sickness if you want to be a politician in the first place. But you have to can control your sickness. You see what I say? So Tufton and Andrew, them enjoy being the face. Them enjoy being on TV. Just like how me enjoy being the face and enjoy being on TV. But then now when you have something as serious as this, you have to control the sickness. You can't make a sickness be the thing will take over
The whole thing, because out of 3 million people, Andrew thinks I him for being charged, and me thinks I me for being charged. That is an illness. But at the same time, you have to control that illness now and say, okay, this is what is best for the country. And what is best for the country in a point where the thing needs trust. Is a lack of trust make a man hesitant, So therefore, all you have got a man are people who are not trusted. So when me see the whole of them, I take picture. I take the joke. You know, see no picture from me if you send me take the joke. Because many things say that is the way to go. You understand? But me see a video come out now, say, me not take a joke. So me say, all right, me have to make a video for say that is not true. You see me I say? Because me take the joke. But at the same time, me not think me for force the man to take the joke. Film situation and my situation is different.
Right.
But I feel that if we engage more trustworthy people to the public's opinion first, it would have been more effective than what we are doing now.
Right. All right. Camilla Bolt, please listen to me carefully when I speak. I never said no one should question the doctors. I never said that. I said people go to the doctor, and when a doctor prescribe a prescription, they don't question the doctor about the prescription. That's what I said. I never said no one should not question the doctors. All right. So, Damion, this is another straightforward question right now. The call where you get a cut out the connection, my brother. You hear me?
Hello?
You hear me?
Hello?
All right. So, Damion get a call and it a cut out to interfere with the live. So, let me just...
You hear me?
You hear me now?
Nah, I really hear you.
All right. If you hear me, exit and
refresh again.
Yep. All right. Good. I think you need to put him phone on silent, so when the caller come in, it not interfere with the live. All right. That's how we reach right now. Still have a few more questions before we wrap up. All right. Still have a few more questions before we wrap up. All right, Damion.
Yeah.
All right, what me that suggest is because you get a call that probably interfere with the connection.
Yeah. I mean, never they put it on the
you put it on silent now.
Let me put it on the door disturb.
All right, good, because that a kick way off every minute.
Yeah. Some people could ask me on it and I call me if say, me see ya.
All right. So we have our next question for you, my family, and this one you know direct. This one you know direct again. Do you think, and though I and the 2,000 plus people we are listening to right now know the answer, have our own opinion. Do you think the government full of corruption?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yo, listen, politics is a corrupting, brother. Cause politics is power, Power is easy to corrupt, Even some who are cuss now, if they have power, them would have corrupted too. Maybe not to the point where them thief things, but to the point where them bust them friend or whatever. It's a hard thing not to be corrupt, And me's a man were easy for shame, so me try not to be corrupt. You see me I say, but yeah, me never see it like this yet. I tell you. Me no in it long, Remember say I really 08 me go in it as a young youth, and then me get 5 years in a real government now as a MP. But the things when me I see, me never know say them things impossible to try. Me never know say you could have just fire somebody and give your friend the work. And me never know say you could have just take some money and then give your helper. Me never know say them things possible. Yeah, the things when me I hear, me never know say somebody with 6 subjects could have been the head of HR and a hire people and a demand them for a degree. Me never know say them things they're possible. If me know they're possible, maybe I go look some 6 subject people and give work. But me never know say me could have tried. You understand? And so me worried for politics now because now everybody knows that them can do these things. You see me? So any girl where an ex-politician have got start demands so she forget her work because she see it. You understand? Me never know say you could have buy $200 million worth of car and no car no come. Me never know say that possible. Me figure say maybe you have to try bring in some car where I know the real car or me think you have to try a style. Me never know you could have just not have no car.
Hold on there. Serious question. So that happen?
Yeah. $200 million out of police car and no car there yet.
When that happened? Because I never know about that. I wasn't aware of that.
Happened from 3 years now, 4 years now, 3 years.
The government spent 200 million, you say?
Yeah, no car no come.
And what go on with that?
Just Google it, man. Police use car, 200 million.
So that just fade away in the wind, no come out of that?
Well, them they say them a go mediation for discuss it with the man. or the car thing I go. And some things happen when we just never know possible, brother. We never know them things are possible, So yeah, the thing corrupt away. But at the end of the day, the people get what them ask for. And that the people might ask for. The people might ask for people who can come buy some liquor and flask and things. So the man just steal some money and buy some liquor and flask. You understand? And give them back some and them jump up and say, yeah, Hosanna to the highest. You understand? But when you sit down and write a manifesto or you sit down and design something, them start to say, chat too much. You understand? Them would prefer if you talk very little and drink liquor with them.
Yeah, chop off of your head, my brother. Sit back a little bit, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so...
Now I get old enough, my back kind of weak, isn't it?
All right, so we touch upon the people rights being taken away, right? And especially in a time like now when if you speak out during this whole situation where go on, you probably get locked up or you get shut down, right? We saw where a group of people went out the other day, to basically speak up, have a little march. The police barred them off, said them couldn't go where the destination was, where them did that go, which is
Parliament.
Right. So what is your take on the fact that we know you said the police only that do them job, so let me not even bother ask that question there. What is your take on the fact that the leader was arrested?
Shame. First of all, we never ever did know that there is a law where say if you have to demonstrate, you have to get permission to demonstrate. Then suppose me demonstrate for the people if they give me permission.
Which is...
Yeah, that just don't make no sense. That's illogical. If you are demonstrating, you should have to inform the police.
Mhm.
That is reasonable, because the police might have to make preparation for controlling and maintaining the peace.
Right.
So I feel that the police should be informed, but to approve,
Right.
that's straight madness. And then to say you're arrested because you demonstrated without approval.
Right.
Just look into that and tell me if that makes sense. It does not make no sense. You get me? No, what is the problem when we find is that even though the police just do them work, them choosing when to do them work. Because there have been demonstrations in front of Parliament before.
Mm-hmm.
You understand where I come from? Which
Right.
were allowed.
Right.
So yeah, I found it to be ridiculous. I
No.
found it to be unconstitutional, in my opinion. I'm glad to say the president is going to take it to court to test the constitutionality of it, because, I mean, that is ridiculous.
Now let me throw this out there, Damion, because they might say, well, it's because of the DRMA and all of this and all of that. That is why that happened, right? Now let me throw this out there.
But may I demonstrate against the DRMA.
Right.
So therefore, we should be allowed to demonstrate.
Right. But yeah, I agree with you, you know. But for those who are gonna say it's because of the DRMA, that's why that happened. Let me just throw this out there. Now, this is your party we're gonna talk about now. A few days later, I saw members of your party having a demonstration about a particular reason, but nobody.
And no police never arrested.
No police never arrest nobody. I
So
don't
that
think
means
police
they
was
might
there.
do it by choice. But some police want Andrew to love them. It's clear. Maybe them think it will make them become the next commissioner or something. But some police want Andrew to love them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's risky to the society and risky to the country.
Do you?
You see, as I say,
Mm-hmm.
the man must be able to say, I disagree with this. And then me and you sit down and say, it makes sense or it don't make sense. And then a good prime minister say, why you disagree with it? And when time say why, you say, for real, you know, maybe we can change or maybe we should stay. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
Because Andrew is not the repository of all knowledge, nor am I, nor is any individual. So if you're unwilling to take debate and unwilling to take the dissent, you will never improve. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So this foolishness of just making it people afraid, because one of the intentions of what they did, you know, seeing was to make people afraid to demonstrate next time, whether
Right.
a different group or the same group,
Right.
because the repercussions are great.
Right.
Because one at a time, them did all want to say them are keep him no bail.
For 2 weeks.
You know
right.
what the charge is? What the fine is if him if he's found guilty? $100, 100 Jamaican dollar. So all that to reach no bail.
Exactly.
You get where I come from?
Exactly.
Yeah. So they were just trying to make others be afraid to take demonstrative actions.
Mm-hmm.
And me can't stand for that. I've demonstrated Bahamas, we demonstrated Australia, we demonstrated Jamaica about 6 times. I've demonstrated many times to bring attention to the thing that I am concerned about and to make proposals against them. So I cannot stand for something where stop that activity, which is a tool for dissent.
Right. Now, persons like myself, you, and a few others on social media, we try to educate and inform the people of their rights, because not everybody know their rights. Not everybody is well versed, and not everybody take the time to go read so them can know what is right and what is wrong, what they can do and what they can't do. Right? So we take the time out and we try to teach them. Now, we saw where the leader of the UIC got arrested, as you mentioned, as we was talking about shortly a while ago, and it was a scare tactic, as you mentioned. Now, a lot of people right now don't agree with the things that we are going, but because them scared of being arrested, right, they probably wouldn't speak up. What would you say to those persons right now?
Well, it's a PMP fault, because that is where people are powerful when they're organized, because they think that they're individual, is me alone, is me alone, is me alone. They're afraid, as I would be afraid if it's me alone.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So therefore, the role of the political party is to organize people so that their power can be greater than than wealth and weapons. There are three sources of power, people, wealth, and weapon. By themselves, weapon and wealth is powerful. But people are only powerful if they're organized. If people are organized, they're more powerful than wealth and weapons. As you would see, if a man go for thief some goat and the community come down upon him, if the community organize and come down upon him, he have to dash and gun, and take away him body, because other than that, he might die. So therefore, the political party's duty is to organize people. So the PMP was supposed to be organizing dissent so that that dissent can be orchestrated to become a very loud voice. But the PMP is afraid to organize the dissent. Or don't agree with this. I don't know which one is the truth, but that is a fault of the opposition. The opposition's duty is to organize the dissent and to then concentrate, because the dissent is not single lineup. So you have to organize it, and then now you come and say, okay, this is the set that we are move ahead with. You understand what I say? And they have not done that. So the UIC now try to fill that void, but the UIC have its own risk because it is new, and people don't know if it's powerful enough to protect them, as would the PMP based on its historical power. So by extension, people are afraid. So me can't blame a man who don't have lawyer fee to be afraid to go to court, or to go to jail. And we can't blame a person who don't have food to be afraid to show up a half a tree and then be treated negatively, or a child who their university and want to beg them MP a thing. I can't blame she if you don't want the MP see her picture on TV. I said that the MP is incorrect. So it is the PMP fault. I blame the PMP, who is the natural organizer of the people, as was the JLP in the gas riot. They did their job. They organized dissent. And the PMP has not organized dissent. Now, it should not come to the point of a riot, because at a riot, the dissent become disorganized. Right. You understand? And that is where we're heading. We're heading to a point that the disorganized dissent is going to lead to this destruction. But the PMP should organize the dissent, and it has not done so.
All right. Damion, you answered that perfectly. And even though, because one thing me I gotta stick to, you say you're biased, right? You say that people are no me say it. Damion say it all time, one more team, own it, right? Now, you say you're biased, but one thing me can say is you throw the blame where the blame belongs. So if your party wrong, you're not going to try and pretty it up. You throw the blame where the blame belongs. And I respect that about you, right? Now, let's touch upon one of the important issues where Jamaica has been facing for years, and I don't even have to tell you what it is without you knowing. Crime. Crime in Jamaica. That's one of the biggest issues Jamaica has been facing. And everybody before them getting a power, I on my interview with the UIC president, I asked him this question as well, and I'm going to put it to you, and I put it to him the very same way I'm going to put it to you right now. Everybody before them getting a power, them always have a good talk about solving crime, or at least, doing away with some of the crime. Because crime can never be stopped fully. But at least you can calm it down a little bit. What do you think is the main contributor to crime? That's one of the questions. It's a two-part question. What do you think is the main contributor to crime? And what do you think is a good solution to the country's crime problem? And before you answer that question, I'm going to say this. We know who in power now, but just the other day, there was a killing spree over a weekend, and I saw where the opposition went to visit the family and this and that, and a particular member of the opposition made a statement that I heard clearly, where he said, if the present government don't know how to solve crime, come ask we. Right? And when I heard that statement, I felt like that statement was dumb. Honestly, I felt like that because you had your opportunity to do what is what, but when you are not in power, you come out and say, if you don't know what to do, come ask me. So, may I ask you now if you answer that for me, my brother?
Well, I guess they must say every year of this JLP government has been worse than the worst year of the last PMP government, but it was still bad. You understand? So let me tell you, the biggest problem is that them fighting the wrong thing. They're fighting criminals and saying they're fighting crime. If you're fighting a criminal, the crime has already been
Committed.
done. So therefore, if you keep fighting criminals, you're not fighting crime. To fight crime is to prevent the crime from happening. You understand me, I say?
Right.
So this thing with more police, more prison, more this, more that is to fight the criminal. And yes, you have to fight the current criminals. But if you keep mopping the floor when the pipe is running, you'll never stop mopping the floor. You see where I come from?
Right.
So therefore, we have to now look and say, firstly, what are the characteristics of the persons who like to be a criminal? Because if we give a murder, every murder to a different murderer, this year we're gonna have maybe 1,000 murder right now. Meaning him only kill one man and then not kill nobody else. At most, you can have 1,100 murderer this year because 1,100 people get murdered. So if you really look on it, and a whole heap of them, you know. If you're really looking at it, and maybe 1,600 murderer this year or 1,400 murderer right now, compared to 3 million people. So when you check out the situation is, what is the characteristics? Them go to non-traditional school mainly. So we have to fix the non-traditional schools. Them don't have any double parent homes, or them are mostly single mothers. So we have to start encourage double parent or give them greater access to male role models. Them not have nobody to help them when them going to that path, when them are crossover. So we have to move the guidance counselors from we have guidance counselors in a high schools. You have one guidance counselor to every 1,000 people. That can't make no sense and can't offer real guidance. You understand where I come from? We have to start the community policing. We have to start get greater opportunities as it relates to earning potential and earning opportunities. So right now, if you want to take a loan to start agriculture, you can't get it. If you want to take out a loan for buy 3 cow, or you want to take out a loan for buy 6 goat, you can't get it. So a man possibly thief for some goat instead of to start raising one and goat. So we are fighting the wrong thing. Now, if you're fighting the wrong thing, then you wonder how the thing are dead. You understand where I come from?
Right.
Me go out in the bush and start shoot up every lion and I wonder how the snake are dead.
Right.
You're fighting the wrong thing. If you fight snake would have dead. So to fight crime is to be preventative.
Right.
And then to fight the criminal is to be reactive. We are fighting the criminal. And so crime is continuing and we're trying to catch the criminal. What is the reason why the crimes are high? The risk is too low.
Right.
How on God's earth a man can sell a murder for $10,000? Because the risk is too low. The risk of being caught and the punishment and to be punished is too low.
Right.
So therefore, him just decides, okay, I'm going at that. So it's like all if a man have a gun, like how you see in America, I have the minimum for New York, 15 years or whatever. Sorry, if you have a gun, I think they have to start coming to increase the risk. Man have a gun and him plead guilty and come out with all 3-month sentence or him on probation and all them foolishness, you know. You understand? Because I don't see no whole heap of knife crime. And most gun crimes, so I could start target that. You understand where the gun them come from? It come from Haiti. Then we need to get some boat for just go and deal with the sea part there and make it now come in from Haiti as it come in. So I don't think it's hard to solve. But if a man have buy $4 billion worth of coke and then have 200 gunmen, people are going to kick him down and take away him coke. So him facilitate that buying a $400 million of coke by organizing and connecting with 200 gunmen. So maybe they don't really want to stop the crime. You understand me?
Right. No.
Yeah, but if we really want to look on stopping crime, we have to look on preventative measures.
Good answer.
You understand? We have to look on adoption policy so that a child can get a good home if his parents incapable or unwilling. No, you can't get a picnic for adopt all when you try. You know, so you can't put up a child for adoption while him in your belly, you have to have him. A girl at 16 or 17 can't decide, say, no, sir, I can't take care of the baby, or I don't want the baby, and I put him up as soon as he's born, and somebody sign up for him and get him as a baby, and would have possibly take care of the picnic there. Them you always see a scammer now. Them clearly bright. Them clearly have ability, because you couldn't scam people if you don't have competence. You understand? So if a man could have sell a lie, imagine if he would have sell the truth. If I was scammer, them did I run some travel agency Jamaica would have full of tourists, them can sell the truth if they can sell a lie.
Mm-hmm.
So when a man say, oh no, I just want to come for 4 days, they say, no, my brother, you need 20 days. It sounds stress. And man, they have 20 days instead of 4 days, and him get him commission and him move on. You understand me? But if
Right.
him ever go to a hotel and say, I want to sell your rooms, them tell him no.
Now, the next thing, Damion, and this is a question from the comment that I saw earlier. Do you believe we have democracy?
No,
Yes.
no, because it has been purchased. Democracy is majority rule. And the majority is not ruling, it's minority rule. The minority has bought the majority, but we still have elections.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody where the private sector want to win, and them mainly win. That's not majority rule, that's minority rule, because the majority give up them power. So no, we don't have democracy currently, in my opinion.
Wait a minute. More make sure something hear you clear a while ago. You say anybody where the private sector wants to win, them win.
And them are going.
So in other words, you're saying that it's not the election really determines the winner?
Well, remember, buy your vote, you know. How you think about the vote is bought?
Mm-hmm.
It's bought by contributions.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, if all right, I don't think people understand how this buy vote thing goes. See, so PMP and JLP are run, right? And 8,000 people want to vote for PMP. I just say PMP are going to win through my bias, right? And 7,000 people want to vote for JLP. The real crux of the matter is that 15,000 people now vote for none of them. If you have enough money, you can pay 5,000 out of the 15,000 there for vote for you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, remember, you know, PMP that win by 1,000, you know, because it was 8,000 to 7,000. But now that you buy 5,000, it's now 12,000 to 8,000, JLP win. It's just the example, and vice versa. So anybody who have this money now, target those who are disenfranchised, those who know business who win, and then go to the poorest ones and say, see something here, since you know business who win, just give me it.
Mm-hmm.
So that is not majority rule. That's how buying elections go. So what happened now is that those who are seeking to win, them try to befriend the ones who have money. And then him say, okay, so I'm $40 million. Yeah? And I say, okay, me have $40 million. Me can buy 4,000 votes for $10,000. And you go in the streets and you go look the 4,000 vote there.
Mm-hmm.
Or you take out 20 million and say, me can convince some people by putting more ads, or buying more dub plate, or wrapping more van, or keeping more parties and events. And then because of that, them around them come. You understand? And then you end up win the election, because it's who win the most seats win the election. So once the funders are adamant that this one must win and that one must lose, because of how people vote nowadays and their willingness to sell themselves, and because them so pauperized and in need, and because them not trust politicians and expect nothing after, them just take a 5 grand or a 10 grand and then move on. And so it end up now. So we don't really have the majority opinion being represented. So you're seeing in today's society that the winning party, like we get, like for example, when me there Portland, me get 9,300 votes. That's the most the PNP has ever gotten in Portland.
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Bars get 9,600 and she win. But when you get 9,600, the celebration is supposed to be big, because at least 4,000 of those supposed to say, me I got a celebration. But the celebration could all have 500, because nobody will vote, that's no business.
Mm-hmm.
You understand where I come from?
Right.
So they after you win, them no business, because them really just sold you a vote. And so then now come the celebration. So that is what the elections and the politics have come to, so we don't have the democracy anymore.
Now, that was that part 2 question. This is the second part. What about accountability?
Well, I've seen some evidence of accountability when people start to quarrel, but there's not sufficient accountability. Accountability is important because it serves as a deterrent. Because they're saying, if we get caught, there would be sufficient punishment.
Mm-hmm.
So accountability is not only recognition of the act and say, okay, you do something. The punishment must be sufficient for me to feel as if this should not happen again, or our next man don't repeat it. Because of the constant repetition of the negative, then clearly there's not been sufficient things to make a man do it again. But I have seen in recent times some people like Royal Reid eventually had to leave. And it not necessarily because Andrew wanted him to leave, but there was sufficient quarreling from the society, and maybe even from the funders to say them not fund you if this person stay. You see, once the funders decide who win, the funders decide what is done. He who pays the piper.
Right.
You see me? Yeah. So if the people decide who win, the people decide what's done. But when the funders decide who win, the funders decide what's done. So maybe some of this accountability is because the funders are not bad people, you know, them just have different interests. The business people are not necessarily bad people, but he wants his business to survive, and therefore you might not have labor laws as strict as they're supposed to be because you don't want to be an enemy of the businessman. You understand what I say?
Right. Yeah, all right. So
Mhm.
this is the next question I may have here right now. Right? And this is another question from the comment section. Right? What is your
Mhm.
opinion on the PM's so-called affordable housing?
I've not seen the total document on his affordable housing policy, but the NHT should intervene in the market because I build a house and my house, when me see the house cost we build, I can't understand why them have sell some local 1,000 square foot for 35 million and 40 million. It's not fair. It's not right. So NHT should really come in and change the market. If NHT come in with 1,000 houses at 20 million, all of them money we are thief and a sell house for 40 million when a 1,000 square foot would have to come down to 20 million because nobody would buy those houses. They will stay on the market. So NHT can shift the market, the thing. If I was in charge of the country, I would have built some studios with a build out plan and allow people to finish out the houses into a 2 bedroom and a 3 bedroom build out plan. So it will start with a studio unit and you have a plan based on the land and you can build out. Maybe the foundation I'll put in. And let me tell you why I'm gonna do that. Because it's cheaper for the people who have an uncle who's a mason who can buy the black them little and instead of one time can do it over 5 year, over 10 year. You understand what I mean? Say? So once them get the studio would have then end up transforming to becoming the living room or whatever. But the architects would have designed a build out plan. And then a man who can beg a help and beg a assistance and buy 10 black and put on and buy 100 black and put on in a 5 year, 10 year would have done his house. One of the negatives is that a man have to try buy the house one time and he can't afford it that way. So therefore, he have a problem. The issue with my plan, however, is that is only for low-rise houses. It can't go for when a man start to go up in the sky. Because how you do a build out when a man up on third floor, fourth floor, and fifth floor. You see what I say? So therefore, once you go high rise now, you need a different plan. And that's now me think so we should have be able to do generation mortgage, which means that I can take a house. Let's say a house of the 20 million. I can take a mortgage for 10 million. And then now when my mortgage done 30 year time, I pick me take the mortgage for whatever the other half of the house is value at that time. You get where I come from?
Right.
So let's say, let me explain it because I think this is an important point.
Mm-hmm.
A house now is for 20 million. Me buy half of the house basically, and the mortgage company own half of the house. So 20 year time, the house value 50 million. So the mortgage company actually own 25 million and me own 25 million. If me want to give my pitney, me give my pitney 25 million and then he takes a mortgage for 25 million now. So more people will be able to afford the houses because you'd have basically taken a house for a half of the price. You understand?
Right.
And the mortgage company would have then benefited by owning the asset, which have an increase in our value.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I say?
Yeah.
So maybe if you do that, you have to pay a higher interest rate because the mortgage company have want a percentage return for using the entire house when they don't own the entire house. That's why I say the Prime Minister not creative because he not really, you understand where I come from? So that's what we call a split mortgage or a generational mortgage where I can make my child then finish off the mortgage. So my 30 years is for the local piece. And then the rent to buy is going to make enough informal people can own. So just saying that you want low income house is not sufficient. Because even 9 million of people can't afford that
Right.
without different policies.
Right. A
You
lot
know?
of a lot of people can't. A lot of people in Jamaica right now can't even afford $2 million, not even a million.
Right,
The
because a
average
man
man
will
right
come
now
in
don't
and
have
say
a
you have to
million.
have a down payment, the bank fees.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I take a loan and the fees then make me nearly the fees then nearly done the loan, yo.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
I said it the
So
other day. The average man right now in a Jamaica don't have $1 million in a bank account. Don't even have
no, never see a million
500,000.
dollar yet.
Exactly.
Never see it yet.
You know.
Mm,
All right, let's talk a little bit about the economy right now. We are about to
yeah.
wrap up, but let's talk because believe me, we're crushing on 3 hours now, brother. So we're
Yeah. Man, I
about to
enjoy
wrap
it,
up,
man. I love it,
but
man. Mhm.
let's touch a little bit on the economy because
Yes.
Jamaica's economy is horrible right now. Correct?
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Correct. Mm.
For those of us who don't know, why is it that the economy is in the state it's in? And what more you touch on to is the Jamaican dollar. Why is it that it's so devalued?
All right. Well, if everybody want Yama food and nobody want to buy the grocery, what's gonna happen? The pot that was spoiled.
Mm.
You understand? You ever see when time you run a boat yet and 10 man put money and then 90 man want to eat?
Mm-hmm.
Or either war gonna broke out and some man now go eat. Or or may I go get quarter of a dumpling. So that is what is wrong with Jamaica. Everybody want Yama food and nobody's buying the groceries.
Right.
Nobody's putting in the effort, putting in the work. And the industries that have been established as the carrying industries, they are not carrying nobody because they have not been forced to, or we have not organized around them for the build out. So let's look on like tourism, for example. See, so tourism, it are carrying visitors, it are whatever. But the multiplier effect of the tourism dollar are mostly by imports. Most of what the tourists are eat is being imported.
Mm-hmm.
See? And that's why from long time from me, then a government may tell themselves, we have to work on creating a Jamaican cuisine. If we don't create a Jamaican cuisine, then you cannot use Jamaican agriculture. If a man come and eat waffles for breakfast, we don't make wheat. You understand? If he might eat cornflakes for breakfast, we don't grow corn. So therefore, until he might eat bread food for breakfast, we'll not sell bread food. So what happens is you have Italian cuisine, French cuisine, you have Mexican cuisine, you have American South cuisine, yeah, but you have Jamaican food, you know, have Jamaican cuisine.
Mm-hmm.
Because cuisine go further than the food, you know, is how you present it, is all of these things.
Right.
So therefore, when you go a hotel only Friday night dedicate to Jamaica food,
Mm-hmm.
you don't even have a Jamaica restaurant more time if you know the Jamaican things are sell. So you find that the multiplier effect is limited. We now make the sheet them, we now make the curtain, we now make the chemical. You understand most of the things that make the hotel function is imported. So when you have an anchor industry, it should now become a supporter of many mini industries, and so our economy thrive.
Mm-hmm.
But we have not been able to facilitate that. So when you look and say a hotel eat lamb, but we only want to grow goat,
Mm-hmm.
but the hotel want lamb. You understand? So government have intervened now and make some people do sheep so that the hotel can get lamb. And then the hotel want price cuts beef, so therefore we can just make some old cow. We have to start do the proper abattoir so we can get the price cuts. And then because when you have price cut, you have some other beef or leftover. We have to start make our own canned beef. These are things where it take thinking and expertise. You
Right.
understand? So why the economy is so stagnant is because the anchor industries have not been facilitating development of many industries to support the anchor industries. To that extent, the dollar start to run away because the dollar is based on demand and supply.
Right.
It is how much people demand Jamaican dollars and how much Jamaicans demand the other people dollar. And that based on import and export. We're importing our medicines, we're importing our food, We are importing our clothes. You understand what I'm saying?
Right, right.
When I was growing up, people make uniform. Now we buy Dockers. Now that person no longer earns an income. So man have a food, but him not buying a grocery. You get where I come from?
Right.
Our textbooks are not written mainly in Jamaica. For what reason? We import textbook. We import all different kind of things. We import car. So if all, and I'm not saying we shouldn't import these things. We need to import some things because the world is like that. But then now we have to also be exporting something.
Right.
So the Caribbean breadbasket should be Jamaica. Because most of the islands too small for grow things anyway. They're not a landmass.
But me,
So we
me
should
stick
have.
up in,
Huh?
me stick up in what you say a while ago. They do. How can we export it with? How can we export it if we don't own it? No longer own it.
Well, if we decide to sell everything where we own, you understand?
Exactly. So
And not even to sell it to ourselves.
exactly.
And people celebrate them thing there. I'm gonna show you something where people celebrate with me against. When the government sell them 20% share in a JPS and them say them put it on the stock market. The government hold 20% of JPS on the behalf of all of us.
Right.
It's not the government. The government, people look at government is not an entity in itself. Government do things on behalf of the people.
Right.
So the government own 20% of JPS on behalf of all of us. When JPS make a profit, the government get 20% of the profit and them use it make road, and them use it make build water, and them use it fix hospital, and him teach something because them wealthy. But generally, him supposed to use it to help with. Them say them put it on the stock market and allow 10% of us, meaning of the population, to buy that shares and no longer hold it on behalf of 100% of us.
Right.
And the next 90% of us celebrate and say, yes, it's a great thing. Can be a great thing because we used to benefit from 20% of the profit and now we're not benefiting from it at all. We, meaning the individuals who don't get no shares. You understand where I come from?
Perfectly.
So therefore, the general understanding of the public is one that allows for bad decisions to be taken. So when you're not export nothing, and if you see ganja gone left we know, you understand. Banana gone left we know. Seeing we import $2 billion worth of goat for curry mutton. Seeing, so we never have to do that. We can substitute that. As I said, the Caribbean should be the breadbasket. Jamaica should be the breadbasket of the Caribbean. Things like breadfruit, and they eat the same things that we eat. We should have sent down shipments of those things to Trinidad. See, China have some ship come down. We should have sent at least water to China. So there are things that we should be doing that we have just allowed to not be done. Our entertainment reach is not far. You ever heard about K-pop, which is the Korean pop music?
No, first me hear about it.
All right, so K-pop is now a new popular thing. They look for young people and them love it and things like that. That was a decision by governments that they are going to make their entertainment, their culture go far. So when I was in the Ministry of Entertainment, I proposed to them, say, yo, it's like college radio. We should buy an hour, because college radio cheap. You understand? We should buy an hour on college radio for Jamaica music. Because when you expose them to Jamaica music, then our artists them start to get more shows. And then from getting more shows, them start to make more money. And that is an export.
Right.
But additionally now, when we put on festivals, not about some like 10,000. When we have a big show with 8,000. I've been to France, 30,000 people at a reggae show. Because Spain, Rotterdam, 80,000 people at a reggae show.
Right.
Germany, reggae jam, 48,000 people for 3 days.
Right.
So you understand? But these things take investment over time. So when we as government buy some time on the college radio now and start play the Chronics and play the Yahoo boys and play the thing, and they must say, hey, who's that guy? He's exposed to it. Because consumption comes from consciousness. If there's no consciousness, there's no consumption.
Right.
You get where I come from?
Perfectly.
If we link up with Pizza Hut in a foreign and say, yo, we want jerk chicken to be on a pizza, and we are this, and we are paying some money for them research, and we are putting some things so that jerk chicken pizza start to sell, and it might become as big as Hawaiian pizza, And when it become as big as Hawaiian pizza, they need jerk seasoning.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, understand how my mind are working, King?
Perfectly. Perfectly.
Yeah,
Perfectly.
yeah. So if look down the road and say, okay, how am I going to reach Westmoreland? By saying beam me up, Scotty? No, you reach Westmoreland by taking a local drive and then going on the highway and then passing St. Anne and then passing Trelawney and then passing you understand
Mm-hmm.
Montego Bay and then reach it. So if you start to look at those things and say, how am I going to expand my export? That is one thing we have to rate with America. America decides, yo, what? Me have economic activity by them have, much sweetie and everything sell when them have Halloween and costume and all of them things, and
Mm-hmm.
economic activity. And then them come back now and them say, yo, this is, you have to buy green for St. Patrick's Day, and that is economic activity. And then them come back again and say, oh, this is thing there, Turkey Day, what you call it again, where them go and eat turkey and thing with them family.
Thanksgiving, I think.
Thanksgiving, that is the biggest travel period in the world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Plane and everything, that's economic activity. Because people are left and go back home and then build things around that and just keep the economy turning over, turning over, turning over, turning over. You see me? Now we just fooling around and announcing some little figures like saying, yo, GDP growth or poverty gone down by 1%, and there's no activity.
Right.
There's no plan. There's no
Right.
plan. That's why I try to build out the goat thing. It's $2 billion we import out a mountain, but imagine how much we can export to Barbados and to Trinidad the next $2 billion.
Right. Not touch that yet,
So,
because that a part of the question. Not touch that yet.
okay,
All right.
okay. So
We're coming
so
up to
and
that.
mushrooms and whatever hotel eat and whatever. So if you imagine if we were making the sheets and the towels and the beds and the furniture for the hotels and the craft, you understand me? In
Mm-hmm.
a Seychelles, they spend 100 and I must say what $180 per person on craft. In a Jamaica, it's $17 per person on craft. And the craft industry can't build out by just allowing people to carve out elephant and carve out giraffe and import some things from China. It has
Mm-hmm.
to be built out by studying our history, making people understand our history. Just like how if I go to Africa, I go buy a spear or I go buy a shield. You understand that come from knowing African history.
Mm-hmm.
But that's craft. And when time I go to Mexico, I buy one sombrero, one big dirty hat I not go wear again for my life. You understand? I'm buy one pretty quill where me not go cover up with because I have real comforter. I'm still buy it. I'm buy one Aztecan plate. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
It have to be established. But when a man come to Jamaica and now buy a button, and we have Bolt and we have all them people, him now buy a spikes, a carve out shoes or a carve out foot, him now buy a medal. You understand? No, me now say these guys, it sound oversimplified. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just saying that if you don't look at building out these things properly, you don't end up selling nothing. Because when I come to Jamaica and I see a giraffe, that don't mean nothing to me.
Right. Right. Damion, now
Mm-hmm.
Jamaicans spread far and wide. We're there everywhere. Right?
Yeah.
Now, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people across the diaspora would want to invest in Jamaica and build up the economy and do different things to try and make Jamaica a little bit better. But they are impeded. Their efforts are impeded by many things. Like, for example, say Chaddy Murray TV in the comment section. Big up Chaddy. Chaddy says, what can be done to lower the customs fees for persons that want to donate, like, let's say, example, hospital supplies, etc., from Jamaicans living in the diaspora? What can be done? Because the customs fees is a killer.
Yes. It's simply a charity. It's a charity. So what I would recommend to the diaspora, and maybe this can be done through like the consulate, like the consulate in America or Canada or England, is to set up one charity and then people send all the things that they want through that charity. So if the consulate, they set up a charity And then all you do have to just go to the consulate and say, me want to send down 10 bed. Then it wouldn't get the custom duty. You understand? But through them, most of Jamaica people are bandulu. A man we say, I send down 10 TV for your hospital, but I sell him a plan to sell it, you see me? So that's why them kind of be strict. But if you have a charity, a carrying, it don't pay the duty. But it have to be a registered charity. So it will be a waste of time for everybody are going to register a charity. So I feel say the consulate. And that doesn't come off at the top of my head for me. They ask me, you know, so sometimes kind of rate myself. that come to my brain. You see me? But if the consulate make a charity and everybody does send it through the same charity, you know. So the British Friends of Jamaica charity and the US Friends of Jamaica charity and the thing, then once it come down through the charity and then when I do them checks and balances, no, you wouldn't pay the customs.
But even let's put aside sending stuff for the hospitals or whatever. Let's just say a regular person would want to invest in the country now, invest in whatever aspect that they would want to, because you know you go overseas, you get some opportunity, you make some money, and you want to invest back in your country, your land. You know, is that an easy thing for persons to do?
It's not easy, but first of all, investments aren't easy. Generally, especially if you are invested directly where you are manage it, as versus like in a Grace Kennedy where you're on the stock market where other people are managing and just get a portion. It can't easy because one people crooked and people bad mind and people thief, you see me? So me know enough people go find and send them money for bills and when they come no house, you know. You understand? So equally with businessman, we send no money and no business. But if the government had specialized different things, you know what I think is a thing with diaspora, and if me have money, I true me not money make me not rich, you know. If you have money, ideas is of no moment. But like retirement villages for our diaspora people. Because you see them afraid of the crime and think them want some gated community, but they don't want necessarily mix up with different people and young people, old people, and the young people them have a different vibe and nice and this and that. So if we have some retirement villages with all them supermarket and everything in them gated community, you know how much of them would have back home right now? And because them back home, them have to hire some helper. And because them back home, them hire some gardener. And some of them rich enough they gonna need one driver. Because them want to come home, you know, because of a foreign day, you know, them call and them prejudice and be something, you know, right? But they must say, boy, I'm not come build no house and live in a no yard by myself, man, come in there, come shoot me and all kind of thing. So if we have some retirement villages in all, up in a Blue Mountain part there and all, in some of the rural places where him not really left because all these things are here yesterday and all them things. I mean, them would are nice in my mind, in my opinion, you see me? And then once they come down now, them would have see things are foreign and experience life in a way where them can carry investments here. Because them would have bring back things where we don't have, where they have seen. Because I saw enough business starting and a man see something else and see how it works and see how it functions and say, okay, we can do this in this place and this space when we come back to Jamaica. So I think that one way where we get back enough our people to create whole heap a construction by doing retirement villages, a man buying the village before it even built or before it done. And then we build it out, and when him come down, him hire some people to help him and him create some service work and him go a hotel and him just generally become a part of Jamaica earning some money and live off of the pension where they must send them transfer it out, but multiply by $150. So as some of mind work sometimes, I think that if the government did just sit down in one room and try to think out some things, we could have better off. Because we have nearly 3 million people overseas, you know, Jamaicans, you know.
So Chadi, I say straight up, you want a straight up answer why customs office so high?
Customs high because we feel rich people import. So, but we as Jamaica people, sometimes we rich and we still so we broke, you understand? But we feel the way taxation is supposed to work is that you take money from the rich and then you help out the poor with it. So because we feel that the people able to import are more likely to be wealthy. Plus, you want to reduce the level of imports by making it more expensive. You understand? So that's why you kind of raise up the tax on the importation. It lick me enough time because my machine them come from foreign and things like that. So yeah, customs assume that those able to import things personally are better off than those not able to. And so if you tax that avenue, you'll be able to get them. It's like you say you tax luxury vehicle then, or you tax car. You know, is to catch the man who can afford luxury vehicle, or you tax wine. Is to catch the man who can afford wine. And that better than to put a little bit of tax on water, because some man now can afford water if you tax it even a little bit. So you just tax wine enough. So you tax import enough, because you assume so the man who can fly in things have money. It's not true, but it's the assumption.
Is that something that the government can fix though? Because that is the cry of a lot of people.
Yeah, you can fix it, but every time you give up money, you give up the opportunity to do things. You see, people only accuse government to take money because government not doing nothing or not doing enough. If them not doing enough, you wouldn't mind give them the money. You understand? I don't mind giving government 40% of my pay if me knows that my pit never go one good school and if me sick me go one good doctor. But me no want to give 1% of my pay if my pit never go one bad school and when me sick never go public. No. So people in England pay enough tax, people in Scandinavian countries pay enough tax, but then getting the returns, people in Canada pay enough tax. So the real problem we have with paying tax is because we don't really feel like we are getting our money's worth. You understand? So I am not in total support for government reduce all taxes and then can't fix nothing. But if them not reducing the taxes, they should fix up the things. And then now fix the things. So yeah.
All right, let's get to that one. Now this is a issue, an ongoing issue over the years, and some people talk about it, some people afraid to talk about it, but it's one right now that is getting a lot of spotlight recently, and it's Jamaica's rape culture, right?
The rape culture?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe so. We have no rape culture still. One second, I get some water.
All right. So while Damion gone feeling water, me say this now. Damion say him no feel, say him no believe so we have no rape culture. And it's one of the things that has been highly discussed for a while. Right? But nobody seems to be addressing it. Right? And when we say rape culture, I need to explain it to Damion when him come back. Right? We are talking about the fact that, all men feel like they should pounce upon vulnerable young girls. You understand? We are talking about and that seems to be normalized because everybody seems to accept it, right? Yeah, Damion, you're back. All right.
Yeah.
So when me say rape culture, I break it down for you so you understand what I'm saying, my brother. Right? We are talking about the fact that some old great one man feels like it's okay to pounce upon some little underage girls, right? And it seems to be accepted. And that seems to be accepted or normalized, right? We are talking about if somebody gets molested or raped by somebody of status, it goes nowhere. That is what we are talking about, right? And yeah, you say who are poor, so you have a point.
All right. All right. From what I understand culture to be, culture is where it is normal and often. Because for something to be the norm, it must be a thing that occur more than what is not the norm.
Right, but if you listen, that's why I said it specifically. It is normalized or accepted.
All right. So what may I say? Rape in Jamaica is not the norm. In fact, even most of our song them and thing. We have a culture of silence, which allows for certain negative to go unpunished. You understand? So say because an old man and with a young girl, I wouldn't term that rape because rape is without consent.
Right, but if the child, if she is underage.
Oh no. We definitely have a culture of statutory rape for sure.
Right.
Yeah. Statutory rape, and then we call it teenage pregnancy problem. We don't have a teenage pregnancy problem. We have a statutory rape problem, which then creates a teenage pregnancy problem.
Right.
But the foundation of the problem is statutory rape, because the fathers are not kids.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Right.
So when you hear a man say, how do we prevent teenage pregnancy? Your first thing is to say, how do you prevent statutory rape?
Mm-hmm.
And we have accepted that at any age, a male can have sex with a female who is over 14.
Mm-hmm.
Because basically, I see people frown upon a 12 or a 13, but I don't see nobody frown upon a 14, 15. So, I mean, these are arms house, but all of it come back to where mothers feel like they have to sell them data to eat. And she worthless and everything, but she shouldn't be in a position where she even have that decision to make.
Mm-hmm.
And most of these negatives are to those who don't have the income. You understand? And I've seen some girl where they around some man where I'm sure they don't want around them and they can see the disgust in them eye in them face. But they might have to pay them school fee. So yeah, it's a problem for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. And it'll create further poverty because I tell you. You see, and if you have any young girl that listen this now, when them go around and talk about them a win because a man buy them a one bag or give them a 20 grand and them breast a pint up and them bottom cock out. By natural biological design, even though someone can now delay that with doing on the body and all kind of thing. Your breast are gonna drop and your bottom are gonna sag, and them are gonna move on to another stiff breast very quickly. So what you find now is that by the time this girl get pregnant, this person who is to give her the 5 grand and 10 grand no longer there. And then she's stuck with a pitney by herself in a poverty and just add to it. So yeah, I don't know the answer for that one, my brother, as to how to solve it. But
Mm-hmm. No,
the underage statutory rape thing is a disgraceful situation in the society.
all right. Now let me ask you our next direct question, my brother. Is there a sex registry in Jamaica?
Not to my knowledge, but it's definitely not public, and I believe it should be public for the underage and the repeat offenders.
And there's a specific reason why I ask you that, because a lot of persons don't know whether there is a sex registry, and that is something that should be public, because every Jamaican should be able to go and look up the sex registry and see if Unstoppable is on the sex registry. To
So
say,
I'm going to say no, because if you have a registry that is not public, then it's of no moment. So
Right.
knowing that it's not public, I'm going to say we don't have a sex registry. And that is unfortunate. Because as you say, I should know if a man start Cub Scout and me I send my son,
Exactly.
I should be able to look to see if my son is safe or my daughter is safe. And if a coach start a track team or a football team, I should be able to know if they're safe. And if my coworker is a rapist, I should know how I act around and how I leave myself open without other people around them. So yes, there should be first time offense for the child molesters and repeat offense for the others, I think. But the next man might say first time offense for everybody. So I don't know. But there should be a registry, I think.
No, because the questions I'm asking you is things I see. There are things I'm seeing right now on social media where persons having issues with it, right? And one of the things that I'm seeing right now is where there's this big conversation, this big debate about persons being deported who were convicted of sex crimes in other countries and deported back to Jamaica, not being placed on a registry. Don't you feel like they should be placed on a registry so that persons
all offenders. So it's not those who's being deported, because I mean, what make the person deported?
I know. I'm speaking in general. I'm saying
right. Coming, I want to be left to the deportee, but
offender.
But then I guess if we have a philosophical conversation, I'm gonna say then why you don't have a murder registry too, and a thief registry. So on a philosophical conversation, even though I am in agreement with a sex offenders registry, you can extend that argument to say I should equally want to know who's a murderer.
Mm-hmm. No, but that should be in place as well. Definitely.
That's the point that I make. Say you can extend it, but then no, if you have, well, I mean, I know. You see, if the answers were easy, everybody would have it, you know.
Well, dear me, I'm going to tell you this.
Nobody really wicked and want to mash up in country, you know.
But the answers
are not easy.
I'm going to tell you this now, Damion. Definitely, my brother, one of the things that I would like, and the people listening right now would like, is one, I'm going to ask you this before me even say what I'm going to say. I asked you previously if you ever thought of forming your own party. You said you never thought about it, and you gave your reason why. After knowing that the 2,000 odd people right now where I watch would want Damion Crawford to form his own party, would you consider it?
Them have to sign up and say them are coming to a party.
No, but believe me, a lot of people would. A lot of people would.
If 2,000 man say, yo, them sign up and we are touch the street serious. We don't touch the street because I don't like what going in this society. I don't like what going on my party neither. But I can't go touch the street with 1-5 people and then look like a madman.
No, I believe if you decide say you're gonna start your own party, my brother, you would have the people behind you. I honestly feel like you would, right? So take it from me, my opinion probably not really matter, but take it from me and the people them right now where they are, you know.
So when we watch it, may I be able to see the people that were commenting?
Yeah, man, the comment section I got the same way when you go back and watch. I don't know if you can watch a whole 3 hours still.
Yeah, may I write down the name and start the party.
But what I was about to say is, if and when, not even, you know, I'm going to scratch the if. When you decide to start to form your own party, my brother, definitely the sex registry thing is what you need to put.
Oh, no, for sure. But we not have to start a party if you have the sex registry. We can move that in a Senate.
Me like that.
We can move it in the Senate. So me I got just link up my people them in fact by tomorrow and say, yo, I think more move a motion. But again, me still I say that I like to look on where's the shit, you know what I mean? Anytime me come up with something that look like it's a no-brainer, I always say, what caused it as a no-brainer not to be done? You understand? And then, as I say, a man, as I say, we should have a murderer's registry. And if you have a murderer's registry, you know, give the man a real opportunity because they know it will never, after MPM due. You understand what I say? Because if it follow you for the rest of your life, I mean, I read up more upon it and see what the opinions are. But I really think that I say, want my, all right, because it is a child in particular who is not able to discern as well as an adult. I would want to be able to be informed so I can protect my child. And if me hire a person to come take care of my picnic or for coach my picnic or for whatever, interface with my picnic, and I cannot find information to make that decision, you have done me a disservice. So yeah, me agree. Me think me gonna move that motion and me gonna check with my leader of government business. And see if they will facilitate that motion.
Yeah, man, definitely. And I'm sure the people would appreciate that because that is a serious concern right now. You know, aside from gun crime and killing and all of that because, you know, if we don't protect the children, my brother, who are going to do it? You know,
and a lot of, even some young women that I've interacted with them scarred by just some very bad experiences as a child.
Exactly. You know, so I definitely like that statement the way you make a while ago. So you go look into that, you know, and do what you can.
Yeah, man, I ask them, man, and figure out, you know, because sometimes they might know more than me as it relates to historical, what they happen right now yet, you know?
Right. All right, so let's move along from that now, my brother, because as I said, we're there too long now, we are going to wrap up. But more touch upon, I notice you're big in the goat farming thing and the chicken rearing thing and all of them thing because that I want him to notice you always I tell the people them say yo people only need to invest in yourself and do this and get this started and you know so what make you get into the whole goat thing though?
Well, first of all, a man must understand that him cannot give him child his job. The only thing you can pass on to your picnic is your business. You cannot pass on a job to your picnic, no matter what job you have.
Mm.
You understand me? Once you work for a man, you cannot pass on your effort. Like so a teacher can say, okay, I'm gonna pass on teaching to my picnic. But a wholesale can pass on to him picnic. If you see what I want with Bush Short now, film son and make sandals even bigger than what Bush Short had it.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, I tell everybody, if I even want little beanie something, start it because you can give a child it. You understand? You can pass it on, and then their better knowledge, their better expertise will make them pass on that. And when you work for somebody, the natural HR policy is that you must make 7 times what you're paid. So when a man work for me, if me pay him 100 grand, he must be creating 700 grand in value.
Mm-hmm.
So why would I not want to make more than one out of every seven value when me earn by doing it for myself? You see what I say?
Right.
So even on the side, a man to try something. So I always encourage that. And then now I go back up on this thing to say, yo, I can buy a taxi and that taxi can have a next taxi. That's the baddest taxi me ever hear about. If me could have buy a Pro Box and the Pro Box have a baby and give me a second Pro Box, that would be the best Pro Box me ever hear about.
Mm.
And that's what animals do. I
Right.
buy a cow and the cow have a baby and give me 2 cows. And I buy a goat and every 6 months in my baby and give me 2 goats.
Right.
So therefore now me just sell the rest of them and keep him. So I said to myself, yo, listen, this animal thing sound like it's the right thing because it a reproduce.
Right.
If I care it enough, and worse if I eat grass alone or whatever. If I care it and take care of it and keep him good, I can earn a good living from it. So I'll go into it. So right now, we might be one of the biggest goat farmer in Jamaica right now. I start 2 years ago with I start with 14 and then I buy and reach 80. And now I have 312 plus 70 out of them born what they are.
Mm-hmm. Good look. Good look. No, you raise chicken too, or I just goat your depon.
Yeah, I raise chicken for egg, but I have never told people to go in a chicken because I lose too much money out of it, you see me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
So
lose whole of money because chicken kind of fragile and at least of the thing. Them stop lay, see me, and they have to buy feed the same way. So I lose all my money. So I don't really recommend it to people. Cause maybe I don't know if I do it good, but I
mm-hmm.
lose enough money out of it.
May I ask you a question, Damion? As a man where I advise people say, yo, get some goat, get some cow, do that kind of thing because it's very lucrative. What can you, as a man where already in it, right? And me I go tell you why me I say this. The other day I was watching a very informative YouTube video, and there's a man who start from nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Africa, who start a rice farm from scratch, right? Him never have
Mm-hmm.
nothing and him start a rice farm. Now him hire thousands of people. You understand? Now,
Mm-hmm.
the question to you is, what can you as a man where already in the goat raising thing and farming thing do for a youth or a couple youths at Jamaica where work right now and want to learn more about what you are do for them?
Well, you see, when I start on live, I think it depends on one of them idea when me I say, oh, how them start the goat business, you see me?
Mm.
But me I put up a abattoir for my farm, and me I work with a little company now where I go lend people money to start goat business, you see me? And me give them the contract now for buy the goat them from them, you see me?
Mm-hmm.
So me I try to build out that kind of a structure, you see me? That them can both buy goat from me, but sell back goat to me, and me will make sure so me have like a support system, like vet and then thing they're available, so
Mm-hmm.
that them can start the thing because right now, 2000 now we can make $1 million just for Jamaica import, So
Right.
me want to make look a bit more than 1 million, but more than mind if 1,000 people make 1 million and me make 100 million. You understand?
Right.
So yeah, so I try to do that system there where you get your training. I do some video now just would make people understand the business part of it because I'm not the best at the animal husbandry. We never study it, I'm new to it.
Mm-hmm.
But the business side now, may I bring that side and may I expose people why you want to do it, how you want your money, how you start, what is the investment portion. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? And may I put a centralized abattoir now where you're sure of your market and you get a contract and say all right, you grow your goat and carry your goat come. You understand me?
So if some Jamaicans overseas want to say, yo, Damion, you know, some year your farm plan and more be a part of it and more invest XYZ with you, them can do that?
No yet, because you may not understand it enough. It could take a man money, because I prefer lose my money in learning, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So like last year, 90 of my goat them dead because me never do something right. So me not like take people money, you understand? But as me say, within the next 6 months, if you want to put in some goat on a theme yard, and then now me will buy it from him automatically on a contract, you understand? And me provide the training and thing. But me no want to say him give me $1 million now and then film goat for daddy. See me I say? If him film goat, daddy I want my goat and I can't bother with that.
Right.
So so when we learn it fully now, I feel very confident now. I go up on the stock market and you know, so we're good again. But I don't want to take a man money because sometimes a man believe in me as Damion, you know. But him don't know me as no farmer.
Right.
And my farming expertise is not very high, you see me?
All right.
No, so I don't want to take people money.
You know we are about the people, Damion. You like myself, we're about the people and giving the people what they want. Now, before I even started this conversation with you, I saw a few persons in the comment section voicing their concern about a particular aspect of your farm, right? And them I talk about the chicken farm. Them I say the smell is affecting them and stuff like that. I don't know if you hear that. You hear that from
man, I did all the on news, yeah. A 6 year now, me down there, 5 year, I got 6 years. So, in that 6 year, 2 or 3 times a year, people complain. So, what happens is that we have a fire down there, you see me? And me invite people by my farm all the time. We have a fire down there. We have our thing, them high tech, you know. And the fire affect the machine. And we do our going in the world, we couldn't get the parts. So the foul shit kind of pile up now and it create a fly nuisance and a smell nuisance, you see me? So we did just have to just explain to the people, say, yo, what we want to understand is even though it's a nuisance, it wasn't like a lack of interest or a lack of effort, you know?
Right.
We are trying to get something from out of China from June, and based on those logistics systems nowadays and lack of flight and everything and lack of shipment, we not get it till late September. You see me? So me thank them still for giving me so much time because from June it a pile up, you know, so them get fed up in the last now and start to say, it need for fix. So, but it's like how you see face bun down yesterday, those businesses, you understand?
All right, so you basically explain to them what caused it, and it's not like you want to disturb people with the smells or nothing like that.
No, I don't mind style. Like, and it's a man who sleep down there too, you know, so me know the nuisance, you see me? It's just that, as I said, before COVID, I get a thing within 2 weeks. You understand? Now, 4 months, 5 months, and I mean globally everybody has. So I did go through, I put out some screenshot where I show them exactly the conversations where I have with my supplier, with my shipper, with everything. You understand? And thing. But they thing them there and it a fix and thing and me definitely and we even I put in some other systems just to make sure say even with another breakdown, it not happen again. You understand?
Right. All right. So people on here, everybody in the comment section that has been commenting about the smell and all of that, now only hear them and explain.
No, most of them wouldn't know of it in our TV. Them see it. Yeah, and really the people, because the people about 50 house they near me, and most of who comment would have be like, I'm gonna just hear it on news. You see what I say? But as I say, nobody never heard of this before.
Right.
And I've been there for quite a minute. So in my time that I've been at that farm, I've had 3 complaints in my 6 years at different times, like when high rain and things like that. So that's something where I put in now where once it finished, we have to come back public and show how we are doing it. To just make sure that never ever happen again. Because for the woman, you can't comfortably, you know, the worst thing, you know, because after your boss cuss you and everything, and other people treat you like nothing, when you reach home, you know, you comfort that, you know.
Right.
So if me can they won't if a man they have a fowl farm near my house and have flying in my house, me that vex too.
Right. All right, my brother.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
we reached the end of the reasoning right now, and it has definitely been an informative one. You know, we stay steady with over 2,000 people listening from the beginning till now. You understand? So
but I
obviously,
appreciate them man and I thank them
trust
for
me, them
coming on, you know.
appreciate you too, cause them stick and stay with me from we start till now. So,
Yeah man, a long time with there man.
brother,
Long time.
we done gone over 3.5 hours. So I'm the longest interview this me ever do. Me normally stop at like an hour to 2 hours. But when
Respect,
reasoning,
man.
good, my brother, and I don't like you're boring. You know how to get into a conversation, and everything where you say makes sense, my family. So I appreciate it
That's
100%. Right?
I'm a thank you, man, and as I say, I thank you too for the reach where you give me, because I've always seen you post my thing, them, and you know, it at least make people hear what me have to say, whether they agree or disagree. I'm grateful for that, you know.
Right. One of the questions someone asked in the comments just now before me wrap up is the person is asking me, say, Unstoppable, please do interview with Damion Crawford and the leader of the UIC if he would permit it. Would you be interested in something like that?
Yeah, man. Me like the brother, man. Me rate him, man, and me see him and do him thing, and he might try. Just like me, might try to a different unit. Me not depend it in a 1 minute, man.
All right, so what me I go do since the people is requesting it, I know say I me do this for us, me say already.
Mm-hmm.
So Damion is agreeing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to the UIC's leader and find out if he would be interested in having it wouldn't even be a debate. It would be ideas being discussed.
Yeah,
right?
sharing ideas.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so
Mm-hmm.
Damion can talk about his ideas pertaining to the manifesto, and Mr. Patterson can give his ideas pertaining to the manifesto and all of that. And we talk about several other aspects of things affecting and relating to Jamaica. Damion agreed. Let's see if the UIC president will agree and when he would want to do it. And if Damion agreed to that day and time, then we do that for maybe next week Sunday, because the Sunday work better for we.
yeah, Sunday work better. Where's it lockdown?
Yeah, so you know this was a definitely good conversation, my brother. So people, if you're not follow Damion Crawford on Facebook, go over there on Facebook, follow Damion Crawford at Damion Crawford. All right, and at the same name on Instagram, my brother.
Yeah, man, Damion Crawford.
All right, so now go over on Instagram and follow Damion Crawford over there as well. All right, my brother, I have to say big up to you once again. I'm going to give you the last statement, man. You know, say your last piece before you push out.
No, well, thank you, as I say, for, give me this platform and the opportunity. I thank the people who have taken their many hours, 3 hours with us, stay tuned and hear what we have to say. So, I mean, without you, I mean, why PMP not kick me out already is because 2,000 people show love, you understand? So, them save me. So I'm grateful, you know, and we look forward for the whole way I try to do, even we look a community better, or we look a school better, or we look a parish better. Maybe all of we not gonna be able to be there at the Senate level if we make a country. But if we can make even with picnic better. Because I say lion and teach the cub how to hunt, that means the zebra better teach him baby how to shift. So if I even pick me make better, I hope that this conversation ignite that in you. So love and honor, man, and have a good night.
Blessings, my brother. All right. Thanks again for the reasoning. Totally appreciate them, and good night. See you, my brother.
Respect, King. Thank you.
All right, Unstoppable family. That right there was Damion Crawford. Great reasoning, great conversation, and trust me, it's one that I enjoyed from beginning to end. I mean, I want to enjoy it too, you know. So trust me, we've been here now. Me I look for the time, the clock for the time. Clock for the time. Me I look for the time on the clock. And it's been 3 hours and 35 minutes since we've been here, and everybody stick and stay with me. So big up for that. We appreciate the support. And everybody who sent in a contribution for this investment, because this is an investment, you know, I'm investing my time for Uno. So everybody who's sending a contribution, though it might not be big, I appreciate that just the same way. All right. And as you requested, I am going to reach out to the UIC's president and see if he would agree to join Damion Crawford right here on this platform for a conversation. All right, people, thank you so much for the continued support, and definitely I will, continue to look out for the people, and put on the questions forward to the persons that need to give the answers. All right, now I have another interview with another prominent person in Jamaica coming up soon and very soon. I'm not going to tell you who yet until it's confirmed, but it's in the making. Once I've confirmed it and the date has been set, then I will announce that this interview will be happening. All right? So people, please and thanks, share the stream so more people who missed it tonight can see it. And if you not hit that subscribe button, which I'm sure everybody will comment on subscribe, because you wouldn't have been able to, because me have subscriber only turned on. So thanks to everybody that hit that subscribe button. You are most definitely appreciated. I'm done with this one and I'm out. So have a blessed night, and I will see you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of
All right?
Jamaica's national
Blessings.
anthem.